All right. What's good? What's good? What's good? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope all is well. Let me say what's up to everybody. Do me a real quick, something real fast here. All right. We got 26 people in the building. What's going on, Gabe? Something real fast here. What's going on, Gabe Toss? Branson? All things. Kentrell LeGrew in the building. Ray Patterson. What's up, Ray? Andy Gill. What's going on, man? How you feeling? Arena in the building. Thanks to Boxing Fan. Terrell W, what's going on, man? Arena, GTD for life. AMC, FSG. What is that? Chris, what's up? Hey, tricked me with being on time, but not too late, brother. Yeah. Y'all always thinking I'm gonna show up late. Nah, I'm here today, man. I'm here in this mug. What up? What's up, all things? Barbara D. LaMarcus Robinson, what's up? Yeah. What's going on with you, man? Yeah, so let's have a good conversation today, man. Let's have a good conversation. So we got the undercard. We've got Puello. We got Puello on the list, man. We got Puello on the list on the undercard against Sandor Martin in Houston. That's the first news that I've gotten paying attention to Shava ESPN. Finney C. Assassin, what's up, man? Happy Feel Good Friday to you. Happy Feel Good Friday to you. Shoo Shoo Bang. What up, man? What's up, Shoo Shoo Bang? Mr. Pragmatic in the building. What's going on, man? Hey, as soon as we're able to offer off one more of these gloves, then I'm gonna send all you guys stuff out and go to the post office and get all you guys stuff out. You ready for the Saints to lose Monday night? Saints hater. All right, so I'm gonna put a link in the chat. Because hopefully I can talk to as many people today. I want to set a record for talking to people today. I want to have conversations like the whole show, if possible. I know it will never happen. I know it'll never happen. But anyway, you're not worried about it? Okay, cool. Thank you. I just want to let you guys know that that's the only thing left to do. You excited? Yeah. You're because this is you right here. This is Barbara D's right here. It's right there, Barbara D. Your stuff is right here, and I am sending it very, very soon. I just wanted to, but if not today, if I'm not able to do that today, and no, I mean like if I'm not able to send it today, I'm definitely gonna do it tomorrow. I won't wait any longer for that. I just wanted to make it one process because it's kind of time consuming. Good morning. What's going on, Rosalind Stewart? How are you? Yeah, that's you. Yeah, I'm just letting you know that's literally you right there. All wrapped up. Saran wrapped up. And we're going to get it to you. Oh, I don't need this mic. Oh, forgot. I got to get used to having a free mic, man. It's pretty dope. Devin Haney is still the face of boxing. Yeah, he is. He's very well known in boxing. He's huge in boxing. The horse's mouth. He really is. I agree 100% that Devin Haney is huge. He's historic. He really is. At this point, he is historic. He definitely has done things that very few people would have ever tried to do. So, you know, good, mate. Thanks for asking, bro. Okay, cool. What up, DJOC in the place to be? Spinning on the ones and twos, Sean's. I don't know you like that, Sean. I don't know you like that, Sean. I got it from Floyd. That's my homie. What you mean? Where I get it from? We got it from Floyd. I knocked on Floyd's door. I said, hey, Floyd, we trying to raise some money, man. Will you sign this WBC belt that I bought from Mauricio Suleiman? He pulled out a pen and he said, no problem. And now I got one. Or I sent somebody to go do it for me. What difference does it make to you? This one, this Ali, I did not get from Ali. I will admit that. Just so you know, people trade in memorabilia. Okay. I thought you won that in the ring. My bad. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, you're a clever guy. 57 for them clever Negroes. 357 for them clever. What's the phrase? 357 for them clever. That's my wrench. See, that's my pow. 357 for them clever. I ain't asking you to be clever with me, man. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, man, somebody unblock him later. Somebody unblock him, please. You know, I only meant to, clip him real quick. So that was a smooth timeout. Yeah, man, I got this. It's a skill. It's a skill. Definitely a skill. So, yeah, man, it's historic, man. Man, do you guys really think Devin Haney's a shot fighter like Oscar De La Hoya said? Do you think that it's a don't mess with Texas, blessings king? Do you really think he's shot? A shot fighter? Do you think the weight loss and all of that stuff really contributed to making him a shot fighter? Because, the one thing about Oscar, you really have to, you really do have to take what he says seriously whenever he's talking about boxing. Unless he's predicting a fight. If he's predicting a fight, no. But I don't think they're ever going to fight now because I don't think Devin's going to fight Ryan, though. That's very unfortunate that Devin acted a buffoon and is now preventing that fight from taking place. You know what I mean? Hey, Jay, are you that little kid from Twitter? Jay? Hey, did you hear? What? Did you hear Bill Haney got jumped and put in the ER by a cross-dressing midget at Circus in Las Vegas? Bill must have said something crazy. What? Hey, I got to tell you, Big Dog Willie, of all the things I've ever heard you say, about Bill, that is the wildest. How could you even come up with cross-dressing midget at Circus in Las Vegas? How you do that? I mean, that's so wild that it actually makes me want to look it up and go see if it happened. Martin, anyone else I missed? What up, Daniel? That's crazy how you said that, man. That's crazy. Woo! Did anybody see I don't know why I'm yelling at that thing. Did anybody see the movie? Did anybody see the interview that he did? Yes, sir. What's up, David Howard, man? Good morning, sir. Did anybody see the I forgot what I said. Ryan said he will not give Haney What? Ryan said he will not give Haney a big money fight. That's why he won't rematch Dev. Man, they need to go ahead and run that back, man. They got to work that out. They got to run that back. That's too good a fight not to take place, man. Their careers are not worth anything if they don't fight each other. I'm telling you, Big Dog Willie's got an incredible imagination. I have no idea how he came up with that. That was so crazy. For real, I felt like, did that really happen? Because, I mean, it's tough to make something up like that. Yeah, they got to run it back, man. That's a crazy thing. They got to run it back. That's a guarantee. You got to run it back. Y'all didn't make no money. Oh, I take that back. Oscar did. Oscar made a lot of money. I forgot. Oscar, there's no way Oscar will make as much money next time. Woo! Oscar is diabolical, man. Oscar's diabolical. That's diabolical. Hey, All Things, thank you for being a member for 5 months. Let me put this link in this chat, though. So did you guys see the Janabek fight? So Janabek knocked dude out in the 9th round. Congratulations, Janabek. My guy, hey, thank you so much, man, to my guy Daniel Gallimore. And Big Dog Willie says, Lion is fun. Haney is my inspiration. Man, Lion is fun. Yeah, then these dudes been having a blast for a minute. Lion is fun. Man, these guys have been just having a stupendous time. Absolutely stupendous time. What's up, Sunchild? You don't appreciate me. Kofi Ansa said, you don't appreciate me, Fanon. You know what? I have to tell you, you're right. Because I don't know you. So how could I appreciate you? See, I think that's the first time I've ever seen your name. But let me tell you, I don't think that's the first time you've ever been here. So, yeah, what a disaster, man. What a disaster it's been. The tale of two fighters. Where we stand right now, as we really don't talk about this middleweight fight that took place between Janabek and whatever the guy's name Janabek was fighting on a Friday morning. But I'm looking forward to seeing Janabek fight Carlos Adames, because that's the only guy he really got a shot at fighting. I don't think they're going to let Janabek fight Lara. People are talking about that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. So Janabek could probably fight. He could probably fight Carlos Adames. I don't remember if Carlos Adames is fighting on Top Rank or if Carlos Adames is fighting on PBC cards. I think Carlos Adames has been fighting on PBC cards, but I could be wrong. I think I've seen him on PBC cards. I know I've seen him at one point. I don't know if the last few have been on there, but I think Carlos Adames is been fighting on PBC cards. Let me know, somebody in the comment section, let me know if that's the case. Abdul Shahid Rauf Wahid, or should I say Reed and Devin signs it? No, I don't know what that first one. You think he will be on Tank's undercard again? Who? You think who would be on Tank's undercard again? Who's? Yeah, oh yeah, okay. Big Cup of Joe said Adames' PBC, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think he was. I think he was fighting on Top Rank for a while. Then I think he went to the PBC. I think so. Aaron Farlow said, I know I'm late, but yeah, you're good, man. I appreciate you guys coming and talking to me on this Friday. I know I'm late because, man, seriously, I'm killing this whole topic. I'm just on top of this topic. I know I'm overkilling this topic. For sure, I'm overkilling this topic. But I have to, because it's just so crazy, man, what's been going on for the last several years. Devin Haney's career, man, God dog, to see it come around like this. And I'm telling you, man, you just see more and more how these promoters are distancing themselves from them. Did you guys see that Richardson Hitchens got the fight with Liam Paro? Richardson Hitchens got the fight with Liam Paro. Puello got the fight with Sandor Martin. Bill is calling out Teofimo Lopez, who was with Bob Arum. So that means pretty much that Eddie and Devin, it looks like Eddie and Devin are done with each other. You know Devin and Oscar are done with each other. There's no way Devin Haney is doing business with Oscar De La Hoya again. Man, those guys are so stuck. Man, those guys are so stuck, bro. Hey, thank you for supporting the channel. For real. Thank you, guys. Alan Sostan said appreciation. Much appreciation to you, man. I'm about to move this up because I'm sitting back today. I got to move in a little bit. Yeah, it's a little too close. A little too close. Yeah, all right, there you go. That's about the best I can do right there. Thank you so much, man. Alan Sostan. Windy City Assassin said, Oscar. Windy City Assassin, man, you're a wild boy. Windy City Assassin said Oscar is on his clapback Thursday. It's hilarious. Yeah, but he lost that clapback Thursday. I thought he was going to clap back Thursday, Devin, but dog, I already clapped back for Oscar. Oscar didn't let those deals out. Oscar said Oscar's actually kind of pissed about this lawsuit from Devin. So I have to deal with this frivolous lawsuit. You can never find anybody that I didn't pay them what I owed them. Yeah, but you screwed him, Oscar. You screwed Devin, Oscar. Yeah, you did. He really screwed Oscar, man. I mean, Oscar really screwed him, man. No joke. It was something horrific. Oscar screwed that dude something horrifically. Yeah, he is his own boss, but that's the thing. You can be your own boss and you can make bad decisions being your own boss. You can make bad decisions being your own boss. Not everybody in the world is meant to be a boss. I mean, I guess you are to the extent that you manage your own life. But just like not everybody is meant to be a boxer, not everybody's meant to be a manager. Just like not everybody's meant to be a lawyer, not everybody's meant to be a doctor. And just like not everybody's meant to be a truck driver, and there are people meant to be truck drivers. That's an enjoyable job for some people. Great life, good, make good money. Want to make sure I say that like I'm complimenting it because it's the truth. That life is not for some people. Some people would die, be in trouble doing that. Some people being therapists. You know what I mean? Not everybody's supposed to be a businessman. In a lot of ways because of their unwillingness to learn the discipline of it. And you guys think it's common sense. You think you can listen to what people say about it on the internet and copy it. Man, let me tell you something, man. I've heard some of the worst business advice online. It's otherworldly.
Here's what I want you to know, man. Lean in. It's important. You will not, under any circumstance, have a happy, healthy marriage. So online, it's otherworldly.
Oh, sorry about that. Not everybody is meant to get man strength. Not everybody is meant to tell truth. Not everybody is meant to to be a huge draw. Yeah, exactly. Not everybody. It's not meant for everybody. It's a true statement. It's really not meant for everybody. It's really not meant for everybody. Not everybody's meant to be a boxer. So, look, man, I'm not going to say Devin's not meant to be a businessman. I'm just saying, like, You got to know the difference between net profit and gross revenue. You just have to know the difference between those two things. At a certain level of dealings, you have to know that. You know what I mean? You have to know that. You have to take care of that. That's just a fatal flaw, bro. That's woo, that's tough, man. I still sit back on there, man, and I learned that there are more than one person in boxing that are getting paid net. Getting paid out of net. Man, that's a tough way to earn a living, getting paid out of net, man. Getting paid out of net profit. If you're not the owner, What's up, Phoenix the Assassin? What's going on with you, man? Yeah, you got to be yeah, man, you got to be real careful, man. What up, Timothy Stoudemire? What's up, man? How you feeling? Nah, I didn't see it, man. I didn't see somebody beat up on a Haney fan, man. Nah, I don't be watching all that violence, man. I don't watch violence unless it's a boxing match. Like an official boxing match, I don't really watch a lot of violence. No, I didn't see somebody travel to go spar somebody at their gym. I didn't go see that. But I heard it was funny. People tell me about it. Devin was way more worried about his social status and actually whipping Ryan's. Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I just think that Ryan's a better fighter than y'all think he is. Just like Lamont Roach. That's why I'm worried, man. I'm not going to listen to you guys about Lamont Roach. It's not good for my health. I cannot listen to you guys about Lamont Roach. I can't. There's something about this Lamont Roach fight with Gervonta that's like, man, I'm sorry. It's so easy to just completely dismiss this man. It's such a temptation just to completely dismiss him. But I saw Devin Haney get beat up by Ryan Garcia, somebody that was completely dismissed. I just can't do that with you. I really can't do that with you. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Fanon, I watched a lot of Lamont Roach last night and I changed my stance. I actually think it will be an exciting fight up until the KO. Yeah, dude, Lamont Roach is, here's a surprising thing that you may not know about Lamont Roach. The surprising thing that you may not know about Lamont Roach is that Lamont Roach is a world champion. Being a world champion, it means you can fight. Hector Garcia could fight. He knocked out Hector Garcia. And Hector Garcia can fight. Okay? Chris Colbert got beat by Hector Garcia. And then Hector Garcia got knocked out by Lamont Roach. Or did he get knocked out or did he just get beat? I'm just telling you, man. It's very easy to dismiss him, and I'm not going to dismiss him. You should never take the next man in the ring as easy work. I think that's why Tank and his team are good at what they do, because they work hard at every opponent. Yeah. And then now the thing is that they know each other. So there's the temptation to undertrain, to assume that you already know the guy. So there's some things that are interesting about it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Phoenix. I forgot what that was. And Chris Colbert is a bum. Come on. Boy, you New Jersey dudes sure do hate haters. Purebred haters. You guys are what you call purebred haters. Can I talk about Jaguar Wright? Can somebody sponsor the live stream today, man? So I can talk about Jaguar Wright. I got to tell you, man, I'm distracted because I actually watched that daggone interview with Jaguar Wright and Piers Morgan. Man, I'm telling you, man, every time something goes crazy, they want to let Negroes up out. Bro, it's hilarious. Woo, boy. Oh boy. I mean, man, I know that there is a crew of lawyers drafting something on her. Man, I wanted to talk about her so far. Yeah, I ain't saying she ain't wrong. I'm just like, God, dog, man. Hey, she say it with her chest too, don't she? She says it with her chest. She's been on camera a lot. She's a bit of an actress, but man, God, dog, man. Man, she's looking crazy. Hey, dog. That's the thing. She knows. That's the type of person that would know. And she's speaking with her chest. She is all way out with the chest. Hey, thank you. Hey, Pragmatic. Hey, man, you miss Pragmatic. You good, bro. Thank you so much for the support. No, seriously, man. I was going to talk about it anyway, Mr. Pragmatic. Trust you me. That's what I really want to talk about. I almost didn't do a boxing live this morning. I almost didn't do, well, I didn't, let me not say that. It's not that I almost didn't do a boxing live stream this morning. It's almost like, because like, man, I should do an MH Blackwell one. And I actually did an MH Blackwell video on it this morning, but I think I'm going to listen to that when I get off again. She hasn't been silenced by them yet, so that says a lot. Man, look, you can't silence everybody, man. You can't just clip Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright is all over the internet, man. You can't just do something to her. She's famous. See, that's the thing, man. The internet makes people famous. You touch people that are on the internet and millions and millions of people see them. Millions and millions of people see them over the course of a year. It works the same way about like how rappers get caught. People messing with rappers get caught because they're all public, because there's so much in the public. No joke. She's out there. So she's not somebody that is like got a piece of paper in her house or something. You know, we're like, oh, go get her. Why? Because she's got the diary in her house buried in her floor. No, this chick is on the internet like da 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 da. And if they go to court, you know what happens if they go to court? Like you go to court, and then you have to actually, because they're celebrities. It's hard to get defamation on celebrities in the United States. It ain't so easy. Hey, say you seems a little trouble, but that doesn't. She seems a little. Hey, thank you, brother. He says supporting the little Friday panel since boys don't want no smoke with you one-on-one. Nah, they don't want none. Oh, I'll do that. Oh yeah, here's a panel. No worries, I'll put a panel up. No, there is no smoke, bro. He asks if you don't want no smoke now. They be going over there for the smoke. They're smart though. They can't fuck with the kid. Here you go. As the invite, man. Somebody want to jump up? I'm cool with that. That sounds like fun today. I would love to do that. I would love to have a panel. That's for the panel, man. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a blast. My respect. Who is that? Just Do Boxing. What's Just Do? What's going, Just Do? I respect my guy. Oh, what's up, man? Just Do Boxing. What's real? I already did it. Richard Green. Why am I not talking about Terrence's interview with Bernie? I did a video on it and I talked about it all day, and I talked about it yesterday. Okay, thank you, Phenomenal Show. Yeah, I figured he wasn't. Thank you. Why are you not talking about Terrence's interview with Bernie? Why you not? Man, why don't you just ask? Here's a link, man. You want to ask me about it? I did a video about it, man. Go to a live stream. Go to the my page. There's a video on it. There's a video on it over there. So anyway, yeah, so anyway, yeah. Anyway, back to Jaguar Wright, man. Back to Jaguar Wright. She says it with her chest, man. And the funny thing is, man, they better not be playing them games. I'm looking at her, though. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt because it's Beyonce. You know, I like Beyonce. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't even know who you are, Jay. Roach says he's getting $3.5 million for Tank. Dude, I doubt. Why do I doubt that you actually heard Lamont Roach tell you how much money he's making? Why do I doubt that there's actually that information out there that Lamont Roach told people how much money he was making? They haven't even had an official announcement of the fight yet. But yet he makes $3.5 million. Dude, do not believe these YouTube channels, man. I'm telling you. They're guessing so they can get there first. I seen it in an interview, sir. What interview? Give me the interview, man, where he said he made $3.5 million. He's making $3.5 million. You've seen it in an interview. Let me know where the interview is. I don't doubt that he can make $3.5 million. I don't doubt that he can make $3.5 million fighting Tank. But I do doubt that his guarantee is $3.5 million. Shoo bang, what up, man? He said favorite boxing channel along with KO Boxing. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, man. That's a compliment. I appreciate it. Mr. Pragmatic says, I actually believe everything Jaguar says. She says it too confidently. Yeah, she's pretty much there. Yeah, she is. And these people may be doing kink dog stuff, man. Beyonce got all kind of kink dog talk in her songs. She really does. I got to go check if those tweets from Chrissy Teigen are right or not. Unless somebody, yeah, she does witchcraft. Oh, she does. Oh, okay. Woo. Hey, G Bread Boy, what up, man? What up, man? What up, man? Thank you, brother, for that support, man. Hey, come on, Phoenix the Assassin, boxing hacker. I need to get a panel up here, man. You know what I mean? I work for the crew. Oh, she deleted her tweets? Oh, well, then she said she did it then. Yeah, she likes some little kitties, huh? Like, you think these jokes is funny? Man, these people be high, man. They be high. What she say about Beyonce? Oh, I can't repeat what she said now. Look, man, it's crazy, man. I just, hey, you know. She says she's a monster. Basically says she does the same thing P. Diddy does. She said basically she says she does the same thing P. Diddy does. She's a Diddyizer. That's what she said. She said, you guys be talking about this dude. What about them? Hey, the feds got him. Let's go get them. Well. Shout out to the Thanos clan. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I needed to do this. She said Sean Carter is worse than Sean Combs. The Diddyizer. Oh, yeah, she did. She said Sean Carter is worse than Sean Combs. Man. Well, you know, when you guys read books like The Art of War and 48 Rules of Power, that's what you get. Hey, Mr. Pragmatic, can I ask you a question, Mr. Pragmatic? I'll wait for Mr. Pragmatic. I have specific questions for specific people. She said Beyonce is worse than P. Diddy. Oh, wow. The Art of Seduction. Let me tell you. Yes, Mr. Pragmatic. Do you know the 48 Rules of Power? If you've ever listened to me, I'm just asking you, did you ever hear me say that is not something you're supposed to do? the stuff in 48 Rules of Power, that's supposed to be the stuff that you're on the lookout for. Some of the rules, it's like, is to protect you against that stuff. But most of it, you're not supposed to actually do it. Because you know what'll happen? You'll be in jail. You'll be where Diddy is. You'll be where Diddy is. Yeah, you will. You'll be putting on spectacles. What are spectacles? The symbolic, all of that stuff that they're doing with that they're saying is the witchcraft and the secret, all that stuff is spectacle. All that stuff is spectacle. It's creating a sense of grandeur. All of that stuff is in 48 Rules of Power. That's what they're doing. And I've been saying, if that's what you do, you're going to have your ass over there with Diddy. That's the shit's a book full of Diddy moves that everybody celebrates because it's manipulation. Much of that book is about manipulation. Most of what Sean Combs is in trouble for is related to manipulation. People always telling people, read Machiavelli, The Prince, read 48 Rules of Power, Tom Green's 48 Rules of Power. That's what we're going to do to take over. And you listen to them and you wind up in jail. And you wind up in jail. We're once again back to morals and ethics. And it's not all about what you think you can get away with. Okay? You got an NDA. They got NDAs, all kind of NDAs. Right? Like that shit is gonna. He said, Rule 10, infection. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. Yeah. Avoid, exactly. Avoid them. Some of them are there to protect you from stuff. But man, you better be careful with the application. What up, Phoenix?
Sure,
Robert, I said, what did I say? Tom Green? Yeah, Green. Whoever it is, Green. Thank you, VA Bella Beats. Yeah, go ahead. I read the book like 15 years ago.
It was good with it.
Nothing much. I'm good, man. What's going on with you, sir?
So just another Friday at the office, but you know how that is. Slow day because about half the people here.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah, slow day here, too. But we having fun. I had a conversation. So what do you want to talk about, man? We trying to get a panel because I can't get no smoke.
Okay. Yeah, so you was talking about the 48 Rules of Power. You know, the Haneys, they writing their own book. They writing the 48 Laws of Weakness. Because look what they're doing right now.
Don't joke. I can tell you what I can tell you the rule that he violated. 48 Rules of Power. The one that I think is some of them are really never outshine your master. Yeah, that one. Oh yeah, he violated that one. Never outshine your master. Don't run around and talk about how great you are in front of people that know that they can go out of their way to show you that you're not that great.
Like Ryan Garcia.
They'll feel petty and jealous of you. Jay said 48 laws of lawsuit. The 48 lawsuits of power.
Devin Haney is now the face of litigation.
Yeah. Where does it say sue your source of money in the 48 Rules of Power? But go ahead, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I did interrupt.
No, you good. Yeah, you good. But yeah, man, like shoot, the fact that Richardson Hitchens got that peril fight, man, like Devin really out there looking bad now. He on the outside looking in like, damn. And I think he still had one more fight because, like, I guess, wasn't it like 3 fights that he was supposed to work with Eddie on? Like they got the Regis fight, they got the Ryan fight. Eddie ain't wanting nothing to do with it, so he went ahead and let Oscar handle that. And the last thing Eddie did was put up that purse bid for the Sandor Martin fight. And Devin dropped the belt. So I mean, what's happening now? Because man, shoot, this dude was out. He should have just been grateful for what he was getting, but nah, No. He had to bite every hand that's fed him so far. Every hand. Sure. The fact that he wanted to get all crazy with Eddie about everything too, like over there in Saudi Arabia for that last card, man, at the AJ fight, he was out there waiting outside, trying to get in and everything. Like, "Oh, you're not on the list, sir. You're not on the list. I'm sorry, we can't let you up in this door." Shoot, Turkey ain't even want to go, give him one of the nosebleed tickets or nothing. Like, he was out there complaining on Twitter for a minute. Like, man, the fact that Devin just seemed to be burning every bridge that he once had, and the fact that he's in a position right now where he has nothing he can use as leverage or any kind of appeal to get anyone to want to put him in a position he was before where he could headline cards. Like, I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know where he's going to go. I know if it were up to me, I put him in the dumpster because, he just been showing he trash right now. But man, the fact that he's in this spot in his career and like, this is, I think for me, I think this is one of the, or probably the most attention he's had on him this period of time. The most attention he's had on him. And it's not even for doing well in the fight. It's for getting his ass whooped and suing. And like, when you a boxer, like the most popular you get is because you suing somebody because you got whooped, not because of your fights or nothing. Like, man, that's horrible. That's horrible. It's a little bit like Tiafimo and Ryan Garcia. They're popular because of the social media antics, and then a little bit because of their boxing. People look at them more as like YouTubers and TikTokers, and they do boxes. But they at least come out and try to fight. But Devin, he does so much more talking. Like, that's the thing that's been crazy to me about looking at stuff the past few years is the fact that with as much time as Devin spends on social media, right? People is gonna call Ryan like a social media star that doesn't take boxing seriously more than they call Devin that. And that's just bizarre when you look at how
Hey, hold
everything
on,
has
man.
turned out.
Hey, hold on. Watch this. Hey, bro, on Twitter, no narrative, who says, "Hey, Fanon, get rid of the filter." Bro, I ain't got no filter on. Nigga, I'm just pretty. Fuck wrong with you? This is what I look like. Dog, this shit has no filter, bro. What are you talking about? Dude, this has no filter, man. Hold on. What is wrong with you people, man? Do you not see all the goddamn? You want me to get that close so you can see all the little dark spots, man? Bro, I
They've never
swear
seen a
these
nice
sweetie
camera
pie ass
before.
dudes, man. Dude, these sweetie pie ass dudes, man.
Ah,
Bro, I'm swearing until I got on the internet, man. I never heard that shit. You got grown men sitting there, literally, dude. Grown men will say stuff to you that only a woman would say, bro. That I've
it's
never
kind of
heard. I had never heard from nobody but women tell me.
it's kind of
Like,
strange to me.
like your eyebrows. Do you arch your eyebrows? Like what? I'm like, do you arch your eyebrows?
Man,
Like, man, no, I don't arch my eyebrow. What? Bro, you're not an attractive human being, bro. That's not the case with everybody else. Anyway, go ahead, man. What the fuck? Like, bro, seriously, I can show you for real. This dude is on Twitter like, what? Hey, get rid of the filter. There's no filter on this, man. I just got a good camera. Try it.
Yep. They ain't seen those before.
Like, what? Anyway, go ahead, man. He said, no, hey, Mr. Better Guy
They,
said, no filter. I'm just pretty, man. Like, what?
they expecting that potato that Terrence Crawford was recorded on a few days ago. You seen that?
Oh, what? I'm sorry. Say that again.
Oh no, that video Terrence Crawford was on a few days ago. It looked like they recorded that shit with a potato, man. Like, damn. You see the quality of that? You couldn't even tell it was him. I don't know what the hell happened with that.
Oh, they do be rounding. They do be rounding you off, man. No joke, bro. But nah, dog. Like,
shit. The other thing I was going to touch on. But yeah, that was on Twitter. That was on Twitter, that Terrence Crawford video.
No. I'm talking about Fresh Prince is on Twitter. What Terrence Crawford video you asking me about?
Well, it was like just within the last few days, like because you was talking about like the camera quality, like the quality on this, it looked like one of them flip phones from like the early 2000s. Like that shit was choppy as hell. You couldn't even tell it was Terrence up there on the video.
Oh, was he when he's talking to Bernie?
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Hey, yo, dude. Oh, I'm sorry. I never did get the chance to talk about that. I did talk about it on the video, but I didn't talk about it here. Man,
Gotcha.
I was feeling. Hey, I no joke. I was really, really like, yeah, I like Terrence on that one. Like, I could completely understand why he would do that. Why he would go off like that. Can't send a super chat on YouTube. Okay, Fresh Princess, thanks. You can always Cash App if you feel like it. Yeah, man. I really felt that. I mean, I could understand why he would do that. Because Tio is man, not everybody want to play, man.
Yep.
Not everybody want to play, man.
Anyway. Yeah, that's true. The only other thing I was gonna touch on was everybody all upset about this Lamont Roach fight. And it's like, y'all do realize that Tank is closer to 130 than he is to 140, right? Like, if we being real. At the same time, like, if Tank were to do what these other fighters is doing, they weigh in for the fight and rehydrate 25 pounds, like, he'd be fighting at 112 or 118 if he was doing that. Like you take 25 pounds from like 135, you get down there to 110. Now he could probably do that. Be like Devin, be like, Canelo, Benavidez, Berlanga, all these other guys, because that's like 90% of fighters that do that. Like not everyone is fighting at their walk around weight. So whenever you're talking about a guy who's weighing in below what his weight class is and he looks normal, like I know a lot of people say Frank Martin was drained, but Frank Martin been fighting at 135 for who knows how long. But we did see him. You see how his cheekbones looked at the weigh-in, everything like that, right? And you see how Devin looked during his last couple of fights at 135. Like when a fighter is looking like that, that's how you know they're not fighting at their walk around weight. But when Tank weighed in for Frank Martin at that 133, his cheeks wasn't sunken in like that. He wasn't looking like a skeleton. Like dude looked normal. Like when you see a fighter weigh in and they look normal, that's how you know that they're close to the walk around weight. They're not draining themselves. But if Tank was doing that same thing, like I said, he'd probably be fighting at 112 or 118. Like that's below what Inoue is fighting at. So I mean, people need to to start being honest about this stuff. It's crazy how much people don't realize that fighters are not fighting at what's natural for them. And that's why I said, like, if same day weigh-ins were a thing, like with the knowledge we have now, the reason they're not a thing is because of those health risks. But like if they had same day weigh-ins brought back, they probably put stipulations in place to keep people from draining like that and make them fight where they should naturally. And if that happened, a lot of people's favorite fighters would not be their favorite fighters anymore because they wouldn't be allowed to go ahead and drain themselves like that due to the health risks associated with it and the increased chance for brain injury. Like that stuff would not be happening today if they brought that back. So like for me, looking at this fight, yeah, Tank is closer to Lamont Roach in size than he is to somebody like Devin, somebody like Shakur, even people in his own weight class right now, 135, like Lomachenko or even Berenicek, all those guys are 135. Like Tank is closer to the guy 130 than he is there. That's because he stays in shape. Like he's not the same guy we seen like back fighting Fonseca and Leo Santa Cruz way back then when he wasn't staying disciplined and was blowing up huge like in between fights. Like since moving to 135, like he's been more disciplined. He's been staying in shape. Cause like the reason I think it is, and it's no like it's not being down on like AB, but like When Tank was hanging around AB a lot, like way back when, that was around the time when he wasn't really as disciplined as he is now. And ever since like he had cut back from that and started focusing on boxing, he'd been in better shape and been looking better. So I mean, like, sure, the fact that people is complaining about this fighting, like, why don't you, move up to 140 or something? Like, it's crazy to me whenever you're looking at it like that. And at the same time, Lamont Roach, shoot, like they fought before in the amateurs, so it's always nice to see like when guys fight in the amateurs to see how it play out if they fight as pros. Like I can think of a number of fights I wish would have happened, like that. But I think it's a fight that's going to be a little more entertaining than people think it is. And like, this is one of those things where just because people don't know who a fighter is, or just because they have some type of perception, like with Tank, the perception is he's always fighting weak opposition, despite the fact that that's not true when you actually look at what his opponents are ranked when he fights them. So like they just throwing that on there because they just haven't wrapped their heads around it. And that's one of the things that I think hurts boxing a lot, that a lot of fight fans don't really they don't really know a lot of the stuff we do here, like the stuff you talk about on your show or any of some of the other YouTube channels, because not everyone's going to be 100% on with the facts. But like I could tell, like a lot of people in this chat really do pay a lot of attention to the fights, to the fighters, to the rankings and everything like that. And I know that's not a majority of boxing fans out there. So that's one of the things for me where it's like, a lot of people is down in it, but at the same time, it could be a shocker. I mean, not that I think Tank is going to lose, but I think it's going to be like a little more competitive than people is giving the credit for. I think it probably might even be more competitive than the Frank Martin fight. You never know. But I mean, we'll find out December 14th. Definitely find out then.
Yes, sir. What up, Kamal? Hey, what's going on, Kamal? Kamal, you're on mute.
Hey, Fanon, what's up, man? I just think it's funny that people lie on Gervonta Tank Davis's name, say he doesn't fight black fighters, and who are going to be his last two opponents after this fight that's coming up? What are they, Fanon? Who are going to be his last two opponents? Black?
According to Teofimo Lopez, there are a couple of monkeys.
Yeah, well, Teofimo is a knucklehead, and I've been telling you that for a while.
According to Teofimo Lopez, he fought a couple of monkeys.
I've been telling you that Teofimo Lopez was a knucklehead for a while. I've been telling you that he's not as hyped as ESPN and Top Rank have him made out to be. And I told people that thought that he was going to fight Tank, I said that's not going to happen because you don't go from fighting Steve Claggett.
Real quick.
You don't go from fighting a Canadian plumber to Tank.
Hey, Kamal, I'm sorry. I gotta stop you for a second because this guy, the horse's mouth, before you get thrown out by somebody else, please dismiss the horse's mouth. How do you feel about Bill Haney going live with BF, but won't talk to you no more, Fanon? Extremely grateful. Like, almost like I've been rewarded. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Bill, not talking to me. I really do. Because I did not want to have to talk to Bill about the fact that he might have missed the difference between gross revenue and net profit. Because if I had to actually ask, why did you accept net profit, 47% of net profit, and a $600,000 advance? Is there something I don't understand about those particular terms of that contract that you revealed in your lawsuit? I know I'm very relieved that I don't have to talk about that. Thank you for your question, though. Go ahead, Kamal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we don't do clout chasing over here.
People were busy trying to throw Bill under the bus without knowing it.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about other channels over here because Fanon has his own following that he's cultivated and developed over the years. We don't need to diss other channels. That's not what we do. So I'm glad that whoever threw the horse's mouth out of the chat threw him out because we don't need to even get into that. The fact of the matter is, it was not Tank, but it was Devin Haney.
That was King.
It was Devin who said that he made more than $35 million with Ryan Garcia after he lost. Remember that tweet, Fanon, where somebody said you made $35 million and Devin said, think more. Then we found out that was a lie. It was Devin Haney who said that Ryan paid up the $500,000 per pound that he showed up overweight. We later found out that was a lie. He did not get 1.5 million. So it's Devin Haney that has been lying this whole time, saying that he is the face of boxing when he's the B-side to Ryan Garcia. And he's saying he hasn't gotten paid. It is Devin Haney who we find out with this lawsuit, because when you file lawsuits, people don't realize this, your business comes out. They have a right to check out the facts. And we found out that you got an advance, Devin Haney, of like $2 million for this fight. It is Devin Haney that's complaining about not getting paid his pay-per-view money when Eddie Hearns has said that he and Ryan Garcia made exactly what he predicted, and it was not going to be a big fight that Devin and Ryan thought it was.
Kamal. That's not the problem. That was not the problem. The problem is, Kamal, Gennady Golovkin got paid 45% of gross profit, Kamal. Bill Haney agreed to a deal where he got 47% of net. I'm sorry. Boxers should get paid in gross revenue, a percentage of gross revenue, right? Because they have their own costs. Bill agreed to a percentage of net profit, which means he literally does not get paid unless the event makes money. So 47%, and basically what people will do when they pay you net profit is they just, whatever profit they have, you know how businesses are, Kamal, they try to find a way to lose that money. So they got to pay the taxes on it. So Oscar's saying I didn't make any money in the fight, even though he paid a lot of money out and he brought a lot of money in. So Devin is paid off the net, though. He's not paid off the gross. And I'm telling you, everybody else has to be getting paid off the gross. So it's not that the fight didn't generate. It's not that the fight didn't generate revenue. It's that on the books, it said it lost money because they could write down, oh, this lost money. So the reason they're complaining about that money is that. And then if you read the lawsuit, Kamal, what they're doing is they're really suing to be able to see the books and all of the expenses and to freeze the money that they said was due to Ryan. Bro, I'm telling you, it has to all be about that man. Dan.
But see, when you file lawsuits, and they didn't realize this, they have in that lawsuit they have John Does who they're suing. So I mean, you don't even know who some of the people you're suing
the John Does? Oh, you know who the John Does are. The John Does are Scooter, the guy that gave him the supplements, him, and anybody else he got it from. Those are the John Does. So they're saying there's some people associated with Scooter. You know, the guy that did the guy that had worked with Zab Judah. Oh, isn't that right? Didn't Scooter work with Zab Judah?
Yes, he did. Scooter's well known in the boxing community.
Damn. Devin is suing Scooter. Dude, Devin is suing Zab Judah's dude. I think Zab for working with Ryan. Yeah, he's suing that's the Bill knows Scooter. Yeah, he's suing Scooter. But that's the John. I've got the. You want me to send it to you? Because I got it. Phenomenal Show gave it to me. I can send you the complaint.
Yeah, if you would. I didn't know if you saw my super chat yesterday. We got to get a 10 count for John Amos. I don't know if you saw.
Yes, we did it right before you. We did it. We did it right before you left that super chat. So I thought maybe you had heard it. But we'll do it again.
No, my bad. If you did it already, it's good.
No, ain't no bad. That's John Amos. Hold on, man. Because there's suspected foul play with John Amos.
Yeah, one second. I'm gonna hop off, but I'm still listening, y'all. Getting back to the office. But great show as always, and y'all take it easy.
All right, man. Get back. Thanks, Phoenix.
All right, good talking, Phoenix.
Yeah. There's some. The daughter is concerned. And they were playing the daughter like a joke before he died about the elder abuse. And what happened was then he passed away. Like it couldn't have been more than a year because they were arguing about, she was arguing about him not being treated and being taken care of like a year ago. And the son, you know, was like, said, nah, that's not the case. The father came out and said, no. I mean, John Amos came out and said something about it, or at least the spokesman for John Amos came out and said something about it. And then when he passed away, the only person that was with him was supposed to be her, the daughter. Somebody said there was the daughter was there with him when he passed, but she said that I wasn't there. Whoever was saying that that was the daughter, he only has one daughter and it wasn't me. So there's some, there's stuff going on around his past. I hope, you know, rest in peace to him for sure. But you know, wow, it's kind of jacked up. I don't know where my gong is, man, to give him his 10 count again though.
Yeah, I read that. I read this stuff. It's sad stuff. I mean,
yeah, man, it's really trippy. Here you go. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Yeah. So okay. So where were you after that?
Yeah. Thank you, Fanon, for doing that for me. I'm sorry I missed that from yesterday. But yeah, it's just Devin Haney, whose whole foundation to his career and the propaganda that he's been disseminating through favored channels and through favored outlets is coming down like a house of cards. He's suing, saying he lost all this money. He lost millions of dollars in revenue. But Fanon, who forced Haney to drop his belt and not fight his mandatory challenger in a fight that would have netted him more than $1 million? Was that Ryan Garcia, or did Devin Haney make the decision to forego fulfilling his obligations as a WBC champion? Can you answer that question for me?
I think Devin is the boss of Devin Haney Promotions. I think he's the one that made that decision.
So he alleges that he's losing all these millions, but then he takes a decision, or he makes a decision to drop his belt, making himself less relevant than he was before, and he forgoes a huge paycheck, and huge being relative, but a 7-figure paycheck. And you can't blame Ryan for that. They're trying to blame Ryan for the $300,000 step aside figure that they paid Sandor Martin. No, step aside works because you don't want to fight your mandatory, so you pay them to fight anyone else. I don't care that Ryan ballooned up in weight and the belt was no longer on the line. That's irrespective of you paying step aside money because you're not going to fight your mandatory. You wanted to duck him. Correct me if I'm wrong, Fanon. Isn't that how things are determined?
Yeah, he didn't want to fight Sandor Martin, and he went for the big money, and he paid that $300. You paid the $300,000 to do it. Yeah, it's exactly you telling the truth.
You can't sue for that. I mean, the fact that Ryan came in overweight, okay, that he came in overweight, but you still, the whole point of a step aside money is you're not trying to fight the person that the sanctioning body said that you had to fight. You're fighting someone else. I don't care if it was for the title or not. So the $300,000 that you paid to Sandor Martin to duck him, period, and that's not open for debate because you've ducked him now twice. It has nothing to do with Ryan Garcia being overweight because the money is paid so you don't have to fight that fighter. And then when the smoke came and you had to prove that you were a truly elite fighter and go through the fire ring, fight Sandor Martin, fight Puello, fight Gary Antoine Russell, all of whom you've trashed on Twitter, you dropped your belt to duck them. You ran the opposite way. So the same people that were criticizing Lomachenko for getting that franchise title, thinking that they got Mauricio Suleiman in a bunch of got you situations, making a big deal about this, are the same people that were praising Devin Haney and telling Devin Haney to drop his belt. I mean, I don't know if anybody is well versed in hypocrisy, but that's the definition of hypocrisy. If you look it up in the dictionary.
Man, if people don't know what hypocrisy is by now, God, man, those guys, man, come on. It was frustrating, man. Like, but to see it come all the way around and like you knew that the decisions that these guys were making were like, they're always making short-term decisions. They make decisions that are good for the next, month. But the decisions that are good for the next month, man, may cost you in the next year. You know what I mean? It's like thinking you're winning a race, but you're really, slowly losing it. Like
Exactly.
they're getting ahead faster than everybody, but you're doing it by isolating yourself from everybody that you're going to need down the road. I just think it's a fundamental misunderstanding of human relationships going into this, man. Because, wow, it's so self-centered. It's like so clearly, so incredibly self-centered that you don't ever think about what anybody else is going through and how what you do affects anybody else. Like the inability to see that you shouldn't even send a text to Eddie Hearn at 6 o'clock in the morning the day of a fight. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you're talking to me and you have my phone number and you suspect I act like anybody else, why would you text me at 3 o'clock in the morning? Like that shit's not going to ring in my ear. Right? And I'm not going to get up and be like, oh, what is this? And you wake up my sleep because you feel like, come on, man.
It's entitlement. It's entitlement. And it's like you're going after Eddie Hearn. He was the guy that got you these huge paychecks that didn't correspond to your true market value. You're insulting the guy on Twitter. You don't even have a relationship with the guy because you said you want to be a free agent. And so you get angry with him when he doesn't bid on a fight that he said was not going to be something that was going to generate revenue with Sandor Martin in the purse bid. You get angry with him and publicly express that. Then you text him at the last minute about tickets and insult him when you're not his fighter. You don't have a he doesn't have a fiduciary responsibility to you in any way, shape, or form. You chose to be a free agent, and then now you're bitching about the results of that free agency when people don't overpay for your purse bid. And then when it comes to this, to getting tickets, it's just this blind delusion that the Haneys have, this gross sense of entitlement that people have been stroking their ego, basically yes men in their echo chamber of praise that they've cultivated and created a cult of, that they just don't see reality. They can't see the forest from the trees. It's short-term thinking, Fanon. When this country was still winning wars back in World War II, Douglas MacArthur and General Patton, great generals. We haven't had generals like that in a long time. When we still won wars, they would have to lose battles, Fanon, to win the war. It was short-term thinking versus long-term success. And the Haneys have reverted that. They try to go for short-term success at the expense of long-term greatness. And it's just come back to bite them because it's being exposed. This is stuff I've been saying years ago when they were talking about Tank. They were trashing him, putting up his screenshots of his mugshots and stuff like that, and calling him a monkey in the Dubai Zoo. I was, talking about this, how these guys were hypocritical for years. And now people are really starting to see it. And it's like you with the Haneys, they constantly over deliver and underperform. So once again, they revert that. You should always be under promising and over delivering. So when you go and you fight Yuriorkis Gamboa after you criticize Tank for fighting him and you say, I'm going to do a better job than Tank, Tank fought a one-legged guy, whatever the ridiculous stuff Devin was saying, and then you go the distance with him in a snooze fest, you bring the problems and the criticism on yourself. And you can't just say at the end of the day, hey, look, boxing is hit and don't get hit, when you were saying about a Gamboa that you're going to do better than him against Tank. You built your career on nonstop clout chasing, hating other fighters, bragging about how you were this and that. You say you hate Floyd, but you've got tons of security like Floyd when you don't even need it. Okay, that's another way to copy Floyd. You talk like Floyd. It's all just cap. It's all smoke and mirrors, and the public is seeing it. The people that you talk against most are fellow black fighters. And then now you want to try to use the race card with this situation. It's just, you can't do it. It's been played. You duck Liam Pardo, supposedly. I don't even think you should have taken that fight, but I'm glad Richardson Hitchens, Africa, is getting that opportunity because he was the mandatory for that fight. and he's getting the fight now. And you know what? You have gone against so many different people. You've even brushed aside Eddie Hearn, who gave you undeserving payday after payday after payday relative to your true market value.
Yo, I thought it was him. And thought it was him. Like, got all those opportunities from Eddie Hearn, and Devin and Bill thought it was them.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you think it's you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you literally fighting on YouTube pages. You think because you put your name on the banner that it's really you?
They
they got these dudes. Oh my dude, they got these dudes just blowing smoke up Devin's soul, man. I can't imagine what the smoke chamber is like around him, man. I can't imagine like the extent of that smoke chamber, like right in his general vicinity. It must be crazy. Like they got
an echo chamber.
Huh?
It's an echo chamber, bro. It is a paid echo chamber of cheerleaders, man fans, and people who are and yes men, people who are not willing to tell these people the truth because they made a series of mistakes that I've been saying for years when I was talking about these guys. And then people just feeding them BS and propaganda. And that's the problem when you have all these yes men there who will say anything but not give you the truth. And then when it comes to battle, you can't hear the truth, and then you can't make the appropriate changes. So just like you said. And so people have been saying for years, Devin pays himself. DHP is a great promotional brand. And we found out it's a shell company. It's just something that exists on paper. It's something that, that doesn't really function. So the lies, what's done in the dark will come to light, and you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. And Bill being the carnival barker and snake oil salesman he is, and Devin just lying and lying, it's catching up to them. Because although Ryan said all these reprehensible and racist things and stuff that I would never say, Fanon, you know what? Who's getting more sympathy in the public eye? Ryan or Devin? Honestly.
Sympathy?
Yeah, who is the public more angry at, despite the stuff that Ryan did and said?
I'm going to tell you, Devin, zero sympathy.
Exactly.
Like, now, Ryan, an inch of very little sympathy that I'm seeing. Like, I'm not giving him no sympathy. He's almost like a different topic. Like, look, dude, we're not talking. We know he's a bitch. We're talking about you not being a bitch. Okay? Like, he's being a bitch. Don't be that. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, dude, he was drinking. He was doing all this shit, Devin. He's doing all this stuff. He's acting a buffoon. Yes, you're right. He said something that sounded racist. Yes, that's right. We don't fuck with him. But we're not going to fuck with you either. Because you're suing people because you got your ass whooped. You making us look bad, man.
You are, and that's
the softest shit ever, dude. Let me tell you who's all agreed with this, dude. I say it's the softest shit ever. Calvin Ford said it's the softest shit ever. Tim Bradley said it's the softest shit ever. The people on Morning Combat said it's the softest shit ever.
Yep, I send you that link, Fanon. The Morning Combat guys.
Morning Combat says that's the softest shit ever. Keyshawn Davis said it's the softest shit ever. I ain't heard Shakur say anything, but I bet you Shakur thinks it's the softest shit ever. Like, bro, no. But dude, the business decision of it though. Dog, the business decision of it though. I'm still so. Because somebody asked, hey, what's going on, Just Do Boxing? Shout out to Just Do Boxing. Thank you. Somebody had asked, do I think it's, what was the question? I'm sorry, I wanted to get to before I pass it back to you. But yeah, and it is an open panel. Anybody can come talk. And you're welcome. Regis Progress said it's pussy-ish. Everybody thinks nobody's gonna rock with that, man, no matter what Ryan did. Unless Ryan pulled out a gun, yeah. Maybe if Ryan had plaster of Paris. But bro,
and even then, But not even then. Let's say Ryan goes. I don't know if you've seen The Last Boy Scout, where that football player pulled out the gun and started shooting people because he had a gambling problem. Even if
I
Ryan,
distantly remember. I kind of faintly.
let's say Ryan did that against the Haneys. I still think people would be blaming the Haneys if Ryan went full Last Boy Scout. That's the amount of bad will. Notice I said this said that didn't say goodwill. That's the amount of bad will the Haneys have built up in the public that Ryan goes Last Boy Scout on people. People would still be blaming them, which is a terrible indictment of what the Haneys have done. That somebody so unlikable who's done all these crazy things is still getting more sympathy in the public eye than the Haneys are. I mean, to me, that's just crazy how this whole thing has passed out. And that's why you don't clout chase Gervonta Tank Davis. That's why you don't lie and build your house on basically on sand. And it's just the cards are crumbling down with this. It is ridiculous, the lies that are being exposed, and the echo chamber that's just telling these guys the opposite. When Devin Haney's in one situation, then when he's in another situation, it's just everybody just do what's best for Devin Haney. No, that's not boxing. Boxing is not about, ducking mandatories, ducking dangerous mandatories. Boxing is not about suing somebody when you feel like you've been cheated or you've been mishandled. Boxing is doing what Miguel Cotto did against Antonio Margarito. Boxing's doing what Deontay Wilder did against Tyson Fury. Boxing is doing what Daniel Dubois did, even though he wasn't cheated, but he didn't give up after a few losses, and he took tough fight after tough fight after tough fight. Then he just made Anthony Joshua, he knocked him out. Okay, that's what boxing is. You get paid to go into the squared circle. You get paid to throw to release your hands. All this other talk that the Haneys talked about was street fights, 187, homicide, going after Erickson Lubin. Bill Haney even said that he was going to bring a gun to confront Erickson Lubin. This is trash, Fanon. It is crap, and it is cap. Because when push comes to shove, Devin Haney dropped his belt to duck the competition. When push came to shove, Devin had a chance to show that he's truly an elite fighter by fighting elite competition, and he ran the other way. Things that he's been accusing other people of doing. So he has zero leverage now because he and Bill have been trashing other promoters, trashing other fighters associated with promoters, and in the end, he lost the WBC belt to avoid proving, without a shadow of a doubt, by going through great fight after great fight after great fight, that he's truly an elite fighter. So this is a house of cards, Fanon.
Yeah, it is. Been one. Yes, sir. Terrible.
Absolutely.
So
been one. And so their next move, I don't know what their next move is. I frankly don't even care. I don't think
I'm gonna tell you what their next move is. Their next move is to sit and wait for reality, crushing reality, to fall upon their shoulders. They're waiting to hit rock bottom. We know the process. You know the process. You know the process. Everybody know the process. Let me tell you the process. When you do not accept reality. When people keep telling you need to make a change, you need to make a change, you need to make a change, you need to make a change. And you keep saying, I don't need to make a change. 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 You know what happens? Eventually your ass hits a point in your life where everything's gone. And you look up like, hold on. Guess I gotta make a change. Oh, yeah. What, you thought everybody was lying to you all these years? You thought random people were really just lying to you for no good reason? And the people around you were taking all your money who ain't around you now, had your best interest at heart, even though everybody always told everybody around you not to listen to yes men? Listen to people that are telling you something that is real. Like, son, you are isolating yourself from everyone and you don't realize it. You can't fight everybody. You need allies. Those promoters, there's only really 3 of them. Once you isolate yourself from one, you're down to 50-50 shot. Once you isolate yourself from 2, you're down to 1. That's it. When you blow that, you're done. That's simple mathematics. Al Heyman, Eddie Hearn, Al Heyman. Isolated yourself from Eddie. Oh, Oscar too. Definitely isolated yourself from Oscar, and he ripped you off with your assistance. Come on, Al Heyman, the way y'all be talking.
And then they even talked bad about Bob Arum. With the lawsuit,
he's trying to get. It's not even about. See, here's the thing, man. With Bob Arum, I truly believe it wouldn't even matter if you talked bad about Bob Arum. Bob Arum wouldn't even care. Eddie really don't care. I mean, honestly, man, Al Heyman don't really care. But oh man, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, because I'm just so amazed by this. Complete what you were saying.
No, I was just saying, like, they even talked about, I guess Bob did an interview where he said he didn't recommend Devin suing. And then Bill just disrespected Bob Arum in the media. It's like, dude, you're burning bridges. You know, in life, you shouldn't, you know, and this is something I had struggled with in the past. You shouldn't seek to burn bridges because you don't know who you're going to have to go back to. You don't know how much leverage you're going to have in future negotiations. You don't know whose help you're going to potentially need. And so if you're going around insulting everybody in the game, including Eddie Hearn, who I agree with you, I don't think Eddie particularly cares that what the Haneys think about him. He just doesn't like how Devin, and he's even said it. He's like, I go into his locker room when he was early on in his career, just be him and his dad, maybe one other person. And then later on, he had like 20 people in his locker room, a bunch of bodyguards. And he's putting on these $20,000 boots in his last fight. And Eddie Hearn is like, what is going on with this? I'm seeing this huge camp and this humble kid. And when Eddie Hearn says kid, it doesn't mean it's not a racist thing. I mean,
he's a kid. He's a 40-year-old man. That's a 24-year-old dude. That's a kid.
Exactly.
He didn't call him boy because he's not a boy. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I just want to clarify that before the Haneyacks go crazy in the comments saying that that's some kind of horrible term. No, he wasn't meaning that at all. It was a term of affection and endearment. But when Eddie Hearn talks about that evolution and then just surrounding yourself with a bunch of yes men, and he notices it, it's just it all had predictable outcomes because he'd been matched carefully early on in his career. He caught lightning in a bottle with the easiest path to undisputed in the form of Kambosos. Many people thought he lost to Lomachenko, but rather than rematch Lomachenko, which is what I said he should have done, he put on Twitter after Loma asked for a rematch. He said, "I'm having a threesome. What are you doing?" And he's trying to tell me he's a role model, Fanon. He and Bill are trying to say that he's the face of boxing. He's talking about having threesomes in response to somebody asking him for a rematch. I mean, all of this propaganda, all of this toxic spew, the hating, the clout chasing, the lies on Mr. Gary Russell Jr.'s name, all of this has come back to bite this guy in the ass. All of this talking about Tank and clout chasing Tank, over promising and under delivering, the shoving of Lomachenko before the fight, this slapping of Ryan Garcia, and then you're saying unwanted touching in a lawsuit. Bro, if you're slapping people outside of the official fight, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know the law, but I'm sure they could bring some kind of legal.
That's battery. Yeah, that's battery. Absolutely.
What
he did with Lomachenko.
Yeah,
that's battery. Even though there should have been some type of anticipation of it, but still, yeah, that was battery. Like, shit was so fake too. But anyway, dude, it's a lot of it's fraud, man. A lot of it's
fraud. It's fraud. It's fake and it's phony and it's fraud. And the Haneys have once again been exposed as the emperor without clothes. They went into the fight, and see, this is what they're going to have to prove. They went into the fight saying that no matter what condition Ryan was in, Ryan is a C-class fighter. I'm going to beat him anyways, what Devin said. When they asked about the weight, I think it was one of the guys from Morning Combat. I think it was Brian, whatever his name is, asked him specifically about the weight. No, it was Ariel Helwani. Ariel Helwani asked him about the weight disparity. He said Ryan can come in at whatever weight he wants to come in. He's still a C-class fighter, and I'm going to beat him anyway. You have all of that you said before this lawsuit was filed, and everything blew up in your face, and now you're wanting to file the lawsuit? You didn't charge Ryan the $500,000 per pound, and you lied that you did. And so your paycheck should have been $1,500,000 just for the weight disadvantage, but you struck a deal and you got $600,000.
No, oh my God. Man. So you gotta read the complaint. That's not true either.
That's not true. They didn't get the 600,000 for none.
Look, listen to how they did him, dog. Dog, I'm telling you, man. I'm sorry to be gross. All the ladies, please cover your ears. Man, seriously, man.
You got to tell me, Fanon, because I thought they got the
Okay, do you
600,000.
see how Oscar De La Hoya? Remember what Oscar De La Hoya said? Them girls came in there with that suitcase,
Yeah.
and they had them big things and big long things in there, and what they did with those things
Yep.
to his, nether region.
Yep.
Imagine that is what Oscar De La Hoya did to Devin. Wow! Yeah, I'm telling you, ran through his ass. Bro, look, man, I'm telling you, in a financial sense, he got, okay, it's hard for me to explain to how crazy this is. He was paid $2.6 million advance. The numbers are the following. I could show you it, but I don't want to have to go through it. Will you trust me and I don't have to show you?
Yeah, I trust you, Fanon. I trust you 100%.
Thank you. So I don't have to do all that. Okay. In the complaint that Devin submitted, it stated and documented what the agreement was. After Ryan popped dirty. So there was an addendum, there was an amendment to the original term sheet related to the bout agreement. So they had a term sheet, and the term sheet laid out the material terms, and they actually had a bout agreement that had more stuff in it. But they were writing an amendment to the term sheet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
In the amendment, it was written in a fashion like this: replace these words in the term sheet with these words in the amendment. Right? So it's just saying that the term sheet now reads like this. And that's how they changed it. That's how you do it in a contract. What you say is, in this contract, it said, I will pay $50. The amendment will say that clause now should read, I get paid $100. That's what they're doing. So in the amendment that is in this document, it says that they changed the wording from an advance of $2 million shall now read an advance of $2,600,000. So he increased the advance by $600,000. He wasn't paid $600,000. He had got an advance of $600,000, an additional advance of $600,000 to be paid the day after the fight. So according to that, Devin should have been paid a $2.6 million advance. That's not how much he was going to actually earn, because as you know, an advance means we agree we're going to give you this much cash, but we're advancing it to you against what he's getting paid. Now, this is for you, Sean Curley, because this is the question I was going to answer for you earlier, Sean Curley. It's not about the revenue of the fight when you're getting paid 47% of net profit. Net profit is the difference between all of the revenue and your expenses. So you could have, like Turkey Al-Sheikh, he has fights where, just say the revenue is $100 million, but he spent $150 million. So what's the net profit on that? The net profit is minus $50 million. So guess who gets paid? Guess how much you get paid off net profit, 47% of net profit. You get no money because there's no net profit. If you got paid off 47% of gross revenue, you would have gotten $47 million. Devin's agreement was for an advance which again is not the money you get. It's just money that that they're giving you until they know how much money you're making. If you make more than the advance, they owe you more money. I presume that if the fight makes less, that generates less money than to earn 2.6 million, then you got to give it back because it's an advance. They can call it back. So if that fight with Ryan Garcia lost money, then Devin doesn't get anything. And guess how he can lose money? In a million different ways. A million different ways. So he got an advance on net profit, which never actually ever happens. So he got basically he got a $2.6 million advance on nothing.
Thank you for breaking that down, Fanon. Hopefully you
got
can do it.
$2.6 million advance on nothing, on something that wasn't going to earn anything.
So tell me again, DHP,
and guess what?
baby.
And guess who gets to keep all the money? Oscar. But all Oscar has to do is spend it with somebody. All Oscar has to do is the revenue, the difference. Say that there's really $5 million left. Right? Say there's really $5 million left in net profit. And then, what an accountant will do? They will say, let's apply that to the cost of something else. And they'll call it like analysis fees. And they're going to charge you for money for everybody that even looked at it in their company. Whatever they got to do, because they got to get that to a loss. Because guess what you have to do with what companies have to do with profit? Come on, you know what you have to do with your profit as a company?
Yeah. You have to reinvest it.
No. If you don't reinvest it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, tell me.
Pay taxes. You got to pay taxes on your profit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They don't want to pay taxes on their profit. They would rather have it be a cost. That's why they say, hey, if you got a kid that can work for you and make less than $20,000, hire your kid to do a job. Because they don't have to pay taxes on it. Right? Because it's less than $20,000 and you're allowed to do it. So it's an expense to you. Basically, dude, it's basically that's what I'm saying, bro. Just imagine what those Oscar De La Hoya had those girls do to him and just think that was that's just projection for what he was doing to boxers that sign up for net profit deals and advances. You cannot possibly write a more skullduggerous deal than that. An advance and net profit? God dog.
Fanon, it's just so funny because they read their press clippings. They thought there was going to be all this back-end money like Tank and Ryan generated because Devin thought that he was a star because that's what his echo chamber was telling him. They thought that he was this big, he lied on Twitter. Remember, Fanon, after the first day, he said 10,000 tickets sold. You remember Devin saying?
But guess what? You don't understand. Yeah, there was 10,000 tickets sold. 10,000 tickets, and I'm just guessing this. This is not an accusation. 10,000 tickets sold to a reseller that works for Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah, it was sold all right. So all of the cost for those tickets come out of your fucking profit. Duh. Hey, guess what? If your promoter is actually snatching up the tickets themselves and trying to resell them, all the tickets you thought you sold are cost to them. So you didn't really sell them. You paid for them out of your money, out of the gross revenue you should have had. You're literally making this man pay. He literally made you pay his bills. That's what it is. When you make somebody earn off profit, right? Before you get paid, you're saying, okay, I'll work to earn the revenue, but you pay your bills first. That's what net profit is. Oh, you pay your bills first. Oh, don't worry, don't pay me anything until you pay all your bills off. No, Oscar, I don't care about your bills. When the money comes in, I want money straight out that. When you had that little till with the cash, you might as well just take that cash out and put that shit right in this bag. I'm not going to wait until you pay everybody in the building for you to pay me. That's what Oscar De La Hoya did to Devin and Bill. They put him in the back of the line and said, yeah, okay, you can be the number one or number two reason that everybody's here. However, I am going to pay all my bills before I pay you anything. So I'm going to pay the promotion companies, their money comes out before you get anything. All of the different media people that we pay or reimburse for things, we throw them parties. We're going to pay for all of that before you get a dime, Devin. Because you're getting paid out of net. Out of net. Everything that gets trapped in the net, everything else is going to flow through. They're going to throw. There's going to be no fish in that net.
But Fanon, Bill told me he's 50-0 in the streets. He told me that's where it counts.
You got smoked, man. What is that in drug terms, bro? That's like what? What you want me to do? You want me to do all the selling? Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to do all the what? Like, I mean, I need to put that in street terms. That is in street terms. Yeah, me and you can go. I'm gonna take my money first. Then I'm gonna pay all my guys. And then whatever's left, you can have a little bit of that.
They told me they were 50-0 in the streets. Bill told me I'm going to go confront Bernard Hopkins. I'm going to go meet Bernard Hopkins. He's barking at Bernard Hopkins. But nah, these people just, they read their own press clippings. They believed their own hype. And they just got swindled because of their pride. What is the old saying, Fanon? Pride comes before the downfall. And the Haneys are very prideful people. They're echo chambers.
And watch this. A fool and his money are soon parted.
Yes.
A fool and their money. And I'm telling you, that's what net profit. I have to put that in English for y'all to understand, my people. The difference between revenue and net profit in street terms. If you throw a party, you and your boy throwing a party, okay? And the revenue is the cake. And you say, okay, I'm going to make the cake. You going to make the cake. We're going to have this cake. This is our cake. And he says, okay, but I'm going to take my piece. I'm going to take the whole cake. And then I'm going to cut up into all these pieces. And I'm going to give it all out to everybody else first. And then that last little piece that's left, we'll split that. How you like that? How you like that deal? Martin and Kamal are going to make the best cake in the world, and Kamal is going to get paid in cake. That little ass bit of cake. That little ass, and guess what? There ain't gonna be no cake left, just so you know. There ain't gonna be no cake left when you look there. Why? Because I gotta pay taxes on the cake. So no, we giving that out to, dude, let me tell you about a real life deal, okay? Real life deal. Dude did not listen to me, but I told him. There was a guy that worked for a company, right? Came over as a CEO. And he had an owner the CEO worked for an owner. The owner said, pass every deal by me. And this CEO that he hired didn't listen to him and struck a deal with another guy that really, really cost the company a lot of money. Not too long after that, that CEO quit, went somewhere else because he never intended to do the job. And later on, you find out that the guy that he quit and went to work for another company owned by the guy he gave the contract to. So, brother, that's why you can't get paid in net. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm going to find a way. If I have to have expenses, I'm going to find a way to pay my wife $1 million.
Yep.
My wife is going to work. That, you know, that fake plastic titty girl? Flake plastic, you know the girl that's with him? Flake plastic titty girl? You paid for her dinner and whatever else she was doing to him. That came off your bill for that fight. If she, I'm telling you, if she went and said, hey, let's go get some new spatulas tonight, baby. Don't worry, it's on Devin.
Oh my God.
Lube on Devin. How much you need? Don't worry, we'll call it a golden boy. We'll call it a golden boy strategy meeting. We'll call it and we'll have a girl with a spatula and a pen and paper, and she's gonna call it the minutes of the meeting. And we're gonna have somebody, we're gonna dive with the whole thing. It's gonna cost about $150,000, dog. And it's gonna be at the top of the hotel. It's all on Devin.
The golden showers on Devin too. The golden showers.
Don't worry, it's all on Devin. It's all on Devin. Don't worry, it's all gonna come out net. He getting paid net profit. Did you see how happy? And here's my proof. And this is I'm telling you, I'm making jokes up. I don't know if any of this is true. This is humor. Dog, did you see how happy Oscar De La Hoya been since he lost all that damn money in that underperforming fight?
Yes,
Dude, he was smiling, grinning. He's great. I ain't never ever seen a man more happy not to make no money. Am I lying? Or does he seem extremely happy not to make no money? I ain't never seen it before. It's like, damn, Oscar, that fight flopped. He's like, yeah, you're fucking pathetic. You don't sell no tickets. You don't sell no tickets. You're just not a draw. My fight collapsed. Both of you dumbasses. We lost all our money. But yet he's smiling.
He's smiling.
Bright, and he's bragging about it. That is what you call a man that has a net profit deal with your dumb ass. He got a net profit advance deal with your dumb ass. That's why he's smiling. Not because the tickets, not because he actually lost money. Not because he didn't profit. He pays himself a salary. He pays himself a salary. Dude.
They told me Bill is the manager of the year. He's the boxing manager of the year.
Watch this shit though. Oscar, here's the thing. You don't even know who Oscar is. Think about Oscar. Oscar probably has, I would guess, at least $20 million cash in a bank. Okay? Oscar's rich as shit. His business is there to lose money.
Yep.
His business is there to lose money. So he doesn't have to pay taxes on the shit he already got. He's already done wealthy, man. He's playing with house money. He took his whole card over there to Saudi Arabia, his whole company over to Saudi Arabia to have one night of fights. And it's going to be a loss for Turki Al-Sheikh too. That fight's going to lose money. Do you think, hey, come on, do you think Eddie's going to be smiling that night? You think Oscar's going to be smiling about losing money that fight too? Well, damn it, Turkey, we didn't make no money in this fight. I guess I gotta take all this cost back to my bank. Slow
Devin, you're pathetic. You don't say.
They're businessmen, though. These are the ones that say boxers need to be at the table alone. Dog, boxers need to be at the table, just not alone.
No. They don't need to be alone.
You do not need to be alone. You need somebody with you, man. Hey, you ever worked in corporate America?
Yes, I have, sir. Yes.
Okay, when you first got there, did you ever have a learning curve where you sat in a room with people and didn't know what the fuck they were talking about?
Yep, I did.
Okay, how long do you think that learning curve is after you got out of college, sitting in a room with business people before you really started understanding what they were even talking about?
It's a steep learning curve, and depending on the position, it could be 90 days, could be 180 days. Some positions, it's not even a year until you feel like you're a subject matter expert.
Yeah.
You know, you have a ramp up time, and so it's like you don't need to be in there alone. They keep the training wheels on for a certain amount of time.
Oh,
So
yeah, you got to. I'm listening.
no, I was just finished. I was saying that,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
so like,
Hey, I see you, Blaze, for 1 foot pound for pound. Yeah, man. It's like you have to, man. Like for real. If when you get into business, like if you work for it, you could graduate with an MBA. You could graduate with an MBA, go work for a consultant firm, and it could be 6 months before you really have a sense of what your superiors are really talking about. Like you'll be like you get the general gist of stuff, but you'll be like, oh, I did not learn this shit in school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't learn this in school. Where the fuck? We don't teach that shit in school. See, what y'all got to understand is school is just to prove that you do. Well, you learn things, right? But the ultimate goal is to learn those things, but those things that you learn, prove to the people that really know the work that you're able to learn the work.
yep.
It's really not about the skill as much about the skill that you have when you get there, because they are going to teach you everything that you learn. They're going to teach you everything that you need to know through the work that they do when you're on the job. That's a misconception about school.
Yeah,
So you guys think you can just jump out a boxing ring and start having and notice the difference between and know that, first of all, you don't even really know. Advance is is a very broad word.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't really even know what that means underneath that. Like what specifically? Because that's a label. The contract itself, the label doesn't matter. You got to look at what the actual wordings are and what is
defined.
And what, well, not just defined, but what the effect of it is.
Yeah, most definitely.
You can define it, but also you need to know the effect of it.
But
like
I'm talking about the definition within the contract. Like when you have a long contract and agreement, you know, you got a lot of terms of art or specific terms that have legal ramifications, and so they usually define them out as well.
That's not what I mean. Like
Okay.
Like that is an interest, but net profit is not a legal term.
No, not at all.
Right. So you won't know how net profit plays against other clauses. Like you have a lot of different clauses in there. You have a lot of different things that work together. So for example, you may see the advance, but you don't see how the advance relates to net profit.
Exactly.
And how the two work, how they actually work together, which means really you can walk away with nothing in this.
Yeah.
Because you need to at least have like, first of all,
because what if it's a net loss? Then you got an advance and you might have to pay some.
Yeah, let me finish, bro. I don't mean to be rude, but let me finish.
My fault.
You cutting my thoughts, man. So, because you're making me now like focus on it, like the questions that you're asking. Let me just finish real quick, and I'll let you go. So, you really, basically, you need to know. You have to have somebody with you. That was the ultimate point of it. You need somebody with you that really understands the subject matter of the business. Because once you understand the subject matter of the business, then you can find a lawyer that can document it and look out for your interests. And you can ask them, okay, these are the things that I want. These are the risks that I think I have. And then they can document it for you. But that's what the lawyer is basically doing. The lawyer is basically just documenting the agreement. It's going to be the subject matter experts and the people that really have worked those deals and know how to, the financial people, they're going to be really the ones that are going to lay a lot of those terms out, and they're just going to kind of bounce it against the lawyer to make sure that it really does, that the language is tight and that we really get what we want to get out of it. In this case, in order to get to net profit from gross revenue, you have to have a fundamental lack of understanding of financial principles, and also not just how much money you get from net profit and versus revenue, but also why. Because it's hard to argue with Oscar if Oscar says, if you say, hey, Oscar, I don't want net profit. I want gross revenue. And he says, no, I don't really want that. This is why I want that. If you don't know why he shouldn't get that, specifically why he shouldn't get that, you won't be able to negotiate yourself out of it. You'll just be tongue-tied because you don't know where to go. If he offered me that, I would say, look, man, I don't want net profit because I don't want to control your expenses. Because profit is going to be determined by your expenses. So in order for me to actually be able to be measured by it, I have to be able to control it. Because I'm not doing anything in that area. The only thing that my work relates to is literally the generation of revenue. So if I have to make a lower percentage, I'm okay with that. If you're saying you can't give me 47% of net profit, of gross revenue, okay, give me the calculation for what you can play for gross revenue. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay a much higher portion of net profit because of my worries. And you're going to have to give me a base amount of money that I'm going to make just in case you don't manage your project right. Because, dude, you may get butt naked with your wife and charge me $500,000 for a party and call it marketing. But you're taking personal benefit from that, right? Because it's a party for your people and you're double charging me. One of the ways, and I'm telling you, I actually like Don King a lot. One of the things that Don King did that looked like this, that I read in his contracts, and I've seen it in different scenarios. Mike Tyson said when he was on, and I feel so, and Mike Tyson just doesn't understand, because Mike Tyson said something where I was like, yeah, Mike doesn't understand why Mike didn't get paid. Mike still don't understand why Mike didn't get paid. I know why Mike didn't get paid in one instance, because Mike Tyson's contract said that he got paid. First of all, Don King got paid in an advance in cash from the casino. Don King paid Mike Tyson in stock from that same casino. So Don King could satisfy giving him his stock very easily because there's no real cost to that. The money that Don King kept in the advance went to the expenses that he had around the fight. There were rumors, I can't say this is true or not, that he would have things like $500 towels, $50 bottles of water, $100 packs of gum. In the government, they call it like the $500,000 hammer. In a government contracts, that's why they do things like making sure you do cost plus contracts. Like, I'm going to pay you what it costs for you to make this, plus a percentage on top, which means you got to give me all your costs up front, and you can't exceed them, which keeps vendors from taking advantage of you. But all that to say is that that's why when these guys are telling young boxers, 20-year-old guys, 22-year-old guys, 28-year-old guys, I don't care if you're 36 and your ass ain't never been in that environment or dealt with that type of deal, you can be taken advantage of very, very easily. And I'm telling you, I believe people are taking advantage of Devin going two ways because he's getting bad advice. And you don't know who's suggesting to you that you take this bad advice. Who told you net profit? Who explained that to you? Anyway, so what's on your mind, Blaze, pound for pound? Oh, real quick, I'm sorry, I'm rude. I am being rude at this point, I'm sorry. Free agency don't work for all, not going to make more money if people don't care about you. They ain't Floyd, Pacquiao, Canelo, Tank, or even Jake Paul, no. And my guy, Sean Curley, said, with the mandatories, they are supposed to fight, but fighters pay step aside so they can fight someone else. How much money do you think Canelo paid Benavidez? No, Canelo was never ordered, so Canelo didn't need to pay anything. And Canelo don't pay step aside. He drops belts. He'll just be like, he's not going to pay anybody to step aside. He'll just take that belt and say, you can have it. Because he doesn't find, because his fight is more invaluable to him than that belt. He has good business sense. Fantasy Assassin said, only thing softer than this is Shakur's fist. Oh, random Shakur stray. Hold on one second. Rashawn Pittman said, hey, what up, Rashawn? Hey, thank you for becoming a YouTube member, bro. Thank you. And Phenomenal Show said, Noop, Ellerby on Twitter right now trying to teach idiots how the business of boxing works and why they aren't seeing elite fights. This is dumb thing people say against Tank. Man, it's crazy. These people, I'm telling you, these people do not, your favorite YouTuber, just your favorite YouTube boxing channel is already lost on this conversation. Just so you know. They're lost in this conversation. What's on your what's on your mind? Hey, what's going on, Rashawn? We got a few people up here now, like Phenomenal Show Morning. What's up, Blaze?
Peace, brother. Peace, brother. I jumped on and was hearing you talk about, just Devin Haney and Bill Haney, and unfortunate to shorten.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
What's good, man? Hey, Rashawn, hold up 1 second, man, because you talking over Blaze.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, no worries. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, and damn, I it's unfortunate for them guys. I think this is, like they say, ego, man. Ego's a cold piece of work. When you want to, and you know what, I just want to say, it costs to be the boss, right? And these guys want to be something that they're not yet. And I think the first thing you would want to know if you had a promotion company and you're negotiating those amount of dollars is to have a great attorney and a great lawyer. No, a great attorney and a great CPA, right? And somebody experienced in the business of contracting with fights, because that's no way that you agree to a gross profit. And like you said, you're not in control of the cost. Like you're not part of the process. Net profit. You're not. You talk about net profit, but you're not in control of expenditures. And I can say this for myself. I'm being an executive director of a nonprofit organization that's running like $3.5 to $4 million of revenue this year, and it's like I'm great at math and all of that, and I can look at all these numbers and analysts, but it's like at the end of the day, it ain't no learning curve for that. You got to bring somebody in and experience. When you're this far in the game, and you're dealing with that amount of money, and you're dealing with that amount of stakes. And so it boggles my mind. And then I look back and think I think maybe Eddie Hearn might have did a good solid for him when he was working with him, because they never said anything about him beating him out of his bread. But this really boggles my mind that they finally get to the biggest fight, at least on paper, or at least perception wise, that we think as far as that could make the most money for him. And they negotiate a contract with this blunder in it. So it's just sad and unfortunate for me. And as you can see how he's handling the whole situation with Ryan on steroids and the lawsuit, and then now you're dealing with we seeing the details of this contract. It's unfortunate. I really hope that they really learn from this. I really hope that they get a good team around him. I still think Devin Haney has a lot of good career behind him as far as in the boxing world, and can make a lot of money, but this is absolutely atrocious. This is absolutely atrocious. Like, this is like, I can't believe that. Like, this shit is crazy. You're this far up and you didn't have nobody around you to look at that contract and crunch the numbers. So like I said, having an attorney, that's in the field of boxing and dealing with contracts, and then having an accountant for y'all to really go through this and really project out, like, look, we're promoting, we're on our side with the equity with this particular contract, with this particular fight, and to give you some realistic projections and forecasting of what that shit would look like. Because if you put it on the board, and then you said growth, you said net profits, any competent attorney and any competent accountant would be like, there's a black box here if you don't have any transparency or control over expenses. And, that's just something people need to know if they really want to understand business, understand the business of boxing and understand their own business, is that, you definitely got to if you don't know how to count and you don't know how to read contracts and negotiate contracts in your favor, you better make sure you have somebody around you that knows how to do that, because otherwise you're going to get shafted every time somebody tries to get you to sign some thick ass 100-page document. So yeah, that's all. I just came through and heard you talking about that and just wanted to, give my comments on that.
All right, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thanks, Blaze. Back with you, man.
All right,
salute to you, sir. What's up, Rashawn?
Hey, what's up, man? I was just in the chat, and I was listening. Hey, what's going on? You can hear me now?
I can.
Oh, okay. My thing is this. You know what I don't understand, Fannin, is how you have a fight, Devin Haney with Ryan Garcia, how you come back and sue him for what he sued him for. It don't make sense to me. For assault.
Are you frozen? Think you frozen, man. You're not
You
frozen.
can't.
Are you asking me a question or what?
Yeah, I'm kind of asking you a question because you know more.
So you're asking
I'm
me what do I
frozen.
think about the are you asking me what do I think about the charges?
Yeah,
I think they're bullshit. You can't battery is an unwanted touching. You're in a boxing match. You got paid to fight him. That's not an unwanted touching. Right? And he also assumed the risk that somebody could cheat. And also, you can't show a real direct connection between Osterine and that loss. It's going to be very difficult to prove that that is the cause of it and that you didn't lose because of what you did in the ring. So it's not going to really work. The second one is fraud. He already got paid. He got paid money, or he didn't actually get paid any money. That's a whole nother different discussion. He didn't actually get paid any money for the fight to continue. He got suckered out any real money. But at the end of the day, he did agree. He got something in exchange, which wound up being nothing, for him to agree to go on. So you can't claim fraud. And it doesn't even matter if he did it on purpose or not, because you agreed to continue the fight. He could have said the same thing. Hey, I decided I don't want to fight. I just didn't want to make weight. Do you want to fight or not? And they say, okay, give me $6 million or give me whatever it is, give me $600,000. Then they fight. Cool, that's it. It doesn't matter whether or not he told him that or not. It was whether or not he was going to take a fight or not. And he decided to take the fight. So that's out the window. The stuff with him not get him the payment stuff with Oscar De La Hoya. Well, first of all, you can't sue somebody for breach of contract and battery from the same action. It doesn't work because one is
that's
a contract.
what I was thinking.
You can't. Yeah, because basically with a contract, in order to have a contract, you had to consent for there to be a contract. Without consent, there's no contract because you have to accept an offer from somebody. So if you're saying that this is no longer a fight because I didn't accept a fight, then you can't say he owes you money because if there was never a fight, then you aren't owed any money under the contract. So you can't have both of them at the same time. You can't say, okay, the reason that this contact is not wanted is because because he cheated. So therefore you cheated. That means there was no contract. There was no consent. And since there was no consent, then I have to say there was no contract. If there was no contract, then he doesn't owe you any money. So how can you sue for money from a valid contract when you're telling me that the contract isn't valid because you didn't give consent for the contract? It doesn't work. Like that is just, and it's generally speaking, I'm sure there's situations where a court can figure out, why they would. Like maybe it's in the public, maybe it's in his public interest or something, but just generally speaking, you shouldn't be able to do that. Because I would argue that. I would say, oh, he said that it was an unwanted touching in his battery, so he wants money for battery. Okay, great, give him his money for battery, but he can't have breach of contract. And in fact, he needs to give me my money back because he's saying he got paid for a fight that he didn't actually have or didn't agree to. That means he doesn't deserve the benefit of the bargain of the contract. Does that make sense? I can use another example. Watch this. All right, so say, what's the battery? What could be the battery? If you'd have a battery, just say you're slap boxing with somebody. And you say, okay, I'm slap boxing with you, and we're going to bet $5 on this slap box, right? If I hit you in the mouth, and then you say, okay, I'm calling the police. Why are you calling the police? Because I didn't agree to fight you, right? But then you say, okay, now give me my $5. Should he have to pay you the $5 if he said that he didn't agree to fight you? Are you there? Okay, here, like seriously, a white.
Nah, he shouldn't.
Right.
He shouldn't have to pay you.
Right. If we're saying I'm for $5, me and you go to slap box, the winner gets the $5. Right? But then I slap you and you call the police. You shouldn't get $5, or both people get $5 for the slap boxing. So you want to call me and say, "Oh, he hit me. He wasn't supposed to hit me." But you still want your $5. You can't have your $5 and call the police too. You can't. You can't have the damage.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Yeah.
can't get the money. Here you go. I'm not going to pay you. I'm not going to pay you because I slapped you, and you sue me because I slapped you. That's even more direct. I'm not.
Right.
You can't charge somebody $5 for slapping you and sue them for battery for slapping you.
Wow, that makes so much sense.
There you go. See,
I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I was trying to understand what was going on.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
like
so let me
you made it clear for me. You made it real clear. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, let me do it just one more. Let me do it one more time because I want everybody to understand, because that is what it is in the essence. You're saying, I will pay you $5. I will pay you $5 if I can slap you. And then I slap you. You call the police and say, he slapped me. I'm suing him for $10. And he also owes me $5 for slapping me. So not only you want $10 suing me for slapping you, you actually want me to still pay you $5 for slapping me. That's what Devin is trying to do to Ryan and Oscar.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And that's what didn't make sense to me when I said this don't make sense. And I like the way you broke that down, man. I really like the way you broke it down.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate you, bro. We got like 3 callers, then I'm gonna bounce, man. But thank you, appreciate you, man. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Hey, come on, what up, man? You good? I'm gonna take like 3 callers, then I'm probably gonna bounce.
All right, yeah, yeah. I just want to thank you for the opportunity, Fanon. Good to catch up with you.
Unless you want to stay on through the next 2 callers.
I can stay on. I can stay in the background and maybe interject 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, do that. Matter of fact, you can carry the conversation because I'll dominate the conversation too much sometimes, man. But North Star is going to be funny. North Star, what do you want to complain about, man?
Let's roll.
Sean Curley, what's good, man? Sean Curley, you froze, man. What's up, Sean?
What's going on, my man? How's everything?
Man, everything's good, man. I can't complain.
Yeah, I just got a quick question. Right? So do you think, for what Billy Haney was saying, like, I know the fight lost a whole bunch of money, and then Oscar got $1 million or whatever the case may be, do you think he's trying to sue to get a piece of that million? Because there might be a profit there?
Look, watch this. Watch this. That's why I'm saying these people don't understand their own contract. Because watch. Net profit, right?
Yep.
Net profit is based off the profit from the whole event.
Right.
So, say Oscar says he lost $2 million in the fight. It doesn't, if he gets $1 million back from Ryan, all that means is he only lost $1 million in a fight. And guess what Devin gets? 47% of negative $1 million is still 0. So it doesn't matter. Even the way that they phrase that, really, it seemed like they didn't understand what a net profit deal is. A net profit deal is after all the expenses. You don't get net profit off of just any in particular source of revenue. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, no, I get it. I'm just trying to make sense. I'm just trying to help them make sense of what the hell they're thinking they're doing, other than throwing the rest of Haney's career down a toilet.
Oh, yeah, they're doing that. They're doing what you say. All right, Sean, you cutting out, man. Let me let you go, man. You cutting out. And I got that stuff coming to you, Sean. Thank you, man. All right, North Star, let's start again. What would you like? What's on your mind?
Oh man, I came in to comment on this Haney thing, man. This Haney hate going on. the contract scenario that you had just gave with the slap boxing thing, I think was not a very good scenario.
Oh,
first of all,
well, let me ask you a question before I ask you. What is your no? Why doesn't that work? Why doesn't that work? I'm
The
interested
scenario?
to know.
the scenario.
Yeah, why doesn't that scenario work?
Because like, so you said like, okay, so the offer is $5 to slap box, and you get slapped in the mouth, and now you want your $5 and you're suing because you got slapped in the mouth.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, but like, it's just the narrative in that scenario, because
It's not a
like
narrative. That's literally a concept in law. It's literally you can't do it. That's
right,
not made up for that.
But
it's not a narrative. It's not a narrative.
I say it like that because it's like, if you agree to that, and then once the slap boxing starts, instead of getting slapped, they close their fist and punch you in the mouth. Now it's a different story. And I say that to say this, like,
no, it's not a different story. It doesn't matter. It's
a
still
slap
the same
boxing
thing.
match. If
No,
you agree
it doesn't
to slap
matter.
box with somebody,
It's still the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's still the same thing. Because watch. It doesn't matter if he balls up and hits you in the same manner. Because you cannot sue for a tort from the same action that you sue a breach of contract. It's a concept in the law. In the situation where you're saying somebody punches you, it's the same situation. If I say I will pay you $5 if I can slap you in the mouth, right? And then I turn around and I punch you. That's not a slap, right?
it's not a slap.
It's not a slap. I violated a rule. I punched you, correct?
So you said you
I'm not
violated
done.
a rule.
I'm just saying I want to make sure.
I'm just getting clarification. That's all. You said you violated a rule. You acknowledged that you violated the rule.
Sir,
right?
I'm not trying to go down somewhere else. I'm just
acknowledging.
Sir, I'm going to throw you off. Listen to me. It's the same scenario because you cannot sue for battery and breach of contract. Once you say I did not agree to you punching me, I agreed to you slapping me. There's no consent, right? Therefore, listen, there's no breach. Then you're saying that's breach of contract, right?
You said, I was just getting
Listen to me. Listen to me. You didn't go to law school. You're not a lawyer. I'm trying
That's
to
why
teach
I'm
you
asking
something.
you a question, brother.
I'm trying to. So listen. I'm explaining something to you. If I punch you instead of slapping you, you call that battery, by saying that you did not agree to the punch, that means you didn't agree to the contract.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is, because you said that I would pay you $5 to slap you. But I didn't. You didn't slap me. You punched me. I didn't agree to that. That's not breach of contract, sir. If you say listen, if you say that you did not consent to that, okay, and then therefore the contract does not exist. Okay, if you say the contract exists and you're suing for breach of contract, fine, but you can't sue for battery too. No, because you consented. Listen, you consented.
Okay. I got you. So here's my argument to it, though.
There's no argument to it. There's no argument. You can't do it because it's the law.
Okay,
it's the law.
Okay, all right, we got that. We established that. So
sir, you cannot kill somebody for no. You cannot just walk up and shoot somebody if they didn't do anything to you. That's murder. That's the law. We're not going to argue about that. You cannot.
It's not an argument.
Sir, you cannot have a claim.
Making sense. You like to.
Sir, you're not a lawyer.
I'm not.
I'm just telling you. I do not want to have a long conversation with this. I'm telling you as a matter of fact and as a matter of law that you cannot claim breach of contract and a tort, battery, fraud, or anything else from the same action. You have to pick one. You either have to say this is battery and sue for battery, or you have to sue for breach of contract. One or the other. You can't sue for both. Because one rests in the law.
Let me ask you this question.
Listen,
The Miguel
one
Cotto
law,
situation.
listen.
The Miguel Cotto
One rests within the law of fault, and the other one falls within the law of contract. And those are two different theories for two different purposes in society. You can't have both at the same time. That's just a fact. Now, if you want to talk about anything else,
So you can't have them both at the same time, or you just
no,
can't
you
have
cannot claim damages for both at the same time. No, you got to pick one. You have to say the contract is real and it's not assault, or you have to say it's assault and the contract's not real. You have to say one or the other. You have to either say we have a valid contract or this is assault, because you cannot contract for assault. Because you know why you can't contract for assault?
Okay, so
Because you cannot contract. Sir, you
Why
cannot
did you
contract.
go into this?
I know you don't know the answer, so I'm gonna answer the answer. I'm gonna give you the answer. You cannot,
Lord
you
have
cannot sue someone, claim damages for something that you consented to. You just have to pick one, man.
Okay, so you consented to slap boxing.
Right. So you owe me $5 million. So you owe me $5.
Okay.
But if you didn't slap, but look, if you didn't consent, but if you got punched and you don't want your $5, then go get your $10. It's a pick one.
All right, we'll move past that. We'll move past that. We'll move past that. We'll move back.
No, we're not moving past that, because you don't move past shit here. You don't get to move past shit. You don't want people to understand what I'm telling them. I'm not making this up. If you slap box somebody for $5 and they punch you, you have a choice. You can sue them for 10, or you can sue them for the 5. If you want to say keep your 5 and sue them for battery, you can do that. But if you want to, you can't sue for the 15. You can only sue for the 10 or the 5. You can't sue for the 15. The court's not going to give you the 15, because they can't give you one without giving you the other. We can't say you have a valid contract, but yet you didn't have consent for this valid contract. Now, what else do you want to talk about?
All right, I get what you're saying too. I just, like I said, the scenario was just a tough one in that situation.
No, it was a perfect one. You just didn't get it, because you know why? You know why it wasn't a tough one? Because you didn't understand. It was tough for you because you didn't understand it. It was actually quite simple and to the point. And one of my best analogies ever for a very complicated legal theory. I think you should be thanking me for giving you that personally, because you would have never understood it if I didn't say slap boxing. Pay me to slap box.
The other viewer was confused when you had said,
because it's a complex legal theory. Complex. It's a complex legal theory. As a matter of fact,
anyway,
really, you know what it is? It's really it's actually comparative legal theory. You actually have to understand comparative legal theory. You have to actually understand the theory of contracts and the theory of torts, and be able to understand why the government would award damages, period. It's almost like you need to be a Juris Doctor. It's almost like you need to have a doctorate in the law. Huh? Who would have known? Now, you want to get back to boxing? Something you may know something about?
This is all part of boxing. This is all part of boxing.
But you don't know why. No, it's not part of boxing for you, bro.
Lord have mercy.
I have no worries. I'll be patient with you.
I mean, you don't have to be.
I'm not patient with you, bro, if you've not noticed, because you're a jerk every time you jump up here. I'm not patient with you. I'm really not.
How am a joke?
Dude, you're a jerk every time. You're a jerk every single time you jump up and talk to me, bro. I know who you are. So what do you want to talk about, dude? Because you were going to try to argue about something. You want to argue? Hey, you want to argue about net profit?
You've been wanting some Haney.
Hey, man, you want to argue about net profit?
Net profit, absolutely.
Yeah, you think net profit's a good deal?
I think Yeah, it was a good deal.
No, it's
It was
not.
like,
It's a fucking
listen,
terrible deal.
listen,
What are you
listen,
talking
listen,
about?
listen.
It's a good net profit's a good deal. I can't wait to hear this.
In that situation, because this is now it all makes sense. Now it all makes sense, and it all makes sense too, because obviously Devin Haney must have been this fight would have really, if he
Boy,
had
you
won this fight.
stuttering. Negro, stop stuttering. You can't think of shit, and you buy it in your buying time. Spit the shit out.
Come on, for 9.
You ain't got nothing for
You
that.
better
Spit
than
it
that,
out.
bro. You
You're
better
gonna
than
talk
that.
for the next
You
5
better
minutes, bro,
than
and say
that.
nothing.
Bro, y'all been
You want me
talking
to
about
wait for
this
you not
every
to
day
say
for a
nothing
long
for 5
time.
minutes,
Yeah,
bro?
y'all been talking about this every day for a long time. You don't
And
even
I'm gonna
want to
keep
hear
talking about
another.
it. Hey
You don't
man,
want to.
how long, North Star? I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to explain nothing.
Do you want to? You like, if you want to hear it, then you know what I'm saying? Because you be doing the most, bro. You just be doing the most, for real. Like, if they was already 3-3 in the amateur, this whole net profit thing or whatever, Ryan is a sell. Ryan is a sell. Like y'all say, like the whole campaign, Devin doesn't sell. He does not sell. Ryan does, though. Ryan and Devin, the leading up to it was a good leading up. They were 3-3 in the amateurs. And to have the net profit, it's like, okay, Ryan is gonna sell. We're 3-3 in the amateurs. It should be a good fight. But the fact that we got him on a contract for this net profit, let's just tank the fight. This is all the antics that Ryan was doing. That it makes sense now. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense now. You're not anticipating Ryan to be drinking and smoking all on camera leading up to the fight. You're not anticipating none of that. Now, they didn't protect themselves in the contract and all that. You're not anticipating Floyd Mayweather to come and scout with Ryan Garcia to beat Devin Haney. What was the need for all of that? They really wanted to get Devin Haney out of the boxing business that bad?
So Floyd Mayweather fears Devin Haney now, Fanon?
Hey, dog, no,
Hold on.
dude,
You said
no, come on,
Floyd
no,
Mayweather.
come on, no, come on. He was gonna say nothing for 3 minutes straight.
My bad.
Dog, he was in like, dude, he was like 2 minutes and 10 seconds and hadn't said shit. Bro, he didn't say any. All he did is say the word net profit. He didn't try to explain what net profit was or nothing. I had him, dog. I was gonna be a prophet.
My bad, Fanon. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that one.
Oh.
I couldn't resist that one. I'm sorry.
He wasn't going to say, bro, this dude was not going to say a fucking word of substance related to the point for 3 straight minutes. Damn, North Star. You want to start again, bro? We're talking about net profit. What is net profit and why is it good? We'll do the 3 minutes over again.
What you mean we'll do the 3 minutes over again?
Yeah, because you never said what is net profit and you never said why is net profit
You
good.
established what net profit was. You're the contract
What is net
guy.
profit, dude?
We've
What's
all
net
heard
profit,
what
dog?
it is, bro.
What's net profit, dog?
The net profit, the profits, the whole profits of the entire thing, not the revenue, not the revenue.
You know you're
The
uneducated.
net profit,
Fuck, right? You know you're wrong as the fuck, right? You know you don't know what the hell you're talking about, right? You know you're not anywhere near the answer, right?
That's not what I came up here for.
I know, bro. You came up here to argue with me about what I said about net profit.
No, that's not what I came up here for.
You said that the whole argument was bullshit. That's what you said.
No, I just said I came up here for the Devin hate, the Haney hate.
This is the Devin hate. This is what I'm hating. You said this was hate. You don't even know what I said. You don't even know what I said.
For now, what you've been saying.
Don't you explain what I said, bro. Explain what I said.
And if you're a supporter of black fighters, because this is just ugly for boxing.
Wow. Hey, come on. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, I'm here. He played the race card.
Is there anything of value that you'd like to say, bro? Because we are not going to hold that up for him. I'm just telling you, if there's any thought on your mind, dog, that may pop up that you think is enlightening and helpful to people, please share it. Because we are devoid right now. This dude right here don't know what the hell he's talking about.
He's ridiculous, Fanon. Every time he comes on here, he thinks he's smarter than everyone else, and he makes a fool of himself. And then today is no different. He's just ridiculous, insufferable, insufferable.
Come on. Hey, I'm gonna ask you a question. If you don't know the answer, just give me you can say you don't know. Okay. Do you know what net profit is?
Yes, I do. Now that you've explained it, I do.
What is net profit?
Net profit is the amount of money that's generated from an event after expenses have been accounted for and built in.
Wow. How precise. How can you relate that to do you know what gross revenue is?
So anything gross doesn't take into account taxes and other fees. So net profit is what you want to go for. Gross revenue is what you want to go for because you're not getting hit for any unnecessary fees. Devin chose the wrong option.
Yeah, most definitely. So question. Because Northstar, I couldn't answer this.
I said that because I said, go ahead, because
he couldn't answer this question.
Flip it up.
But let me ask you this question. So let's say we have a Turkey Al-Sheikh fight. And Turkey Al-Sheikh's fight generates $100 million in revenue.
You've been doing this all week, brother.
No, I've been doing it all my life, boy. I'm talking.
Talk then. Talk. Why you stop talking?
You got something you want to say, poo-poo baby, because you getting your ass whooped? Shut the fuck up, boy. I literally just pulled you up real quick to tell you to shut up. So, come on, can you tell me if you had $100 million fight, and the expenses were $110 million, how much money would you get if you were getting paid 47% of net profit?
You get nothing because you didn't make a profit.
Okay. Now take those same numbers, and you were paid 47% of gross revenue. How much money would you make?
So roughly 50% of 110 or no, of 100. What is that? What is the
in revenue? $110 million in cost. You don't make any money in net profit. How much money would you have made if you had gross revenue?
So it'd be 47 million, right? Because 50% of 100 million would be 50, and then 47 would be 47 million. Yep.
Okay, so just with that change of words, for Devin Haney under that scenario, what is the cost of not knowing the difference between net profit and gross revenue?
The cost is $47 million in this example, Fanon.
Oh, yes, it is. Now let's do something even more calculated. Say that it had on the revenue that it had earned 10% net, 10% a net profit. How much money would you have made? If you were going to get, if it had made 10, if the calculation was this, that they actually had made $10 million on $100 million. How much would they make?
If I'm getting 47% of 10 million, yeah. I'm getting $4.7 million.
Okay, now that's a net profit deal where you made money, right?
Yes, sir.
How much money would you have made in that same deal with 47% of gross revenue?
Of gross revenue, I would
same $47 million, right?
Same 47 million, exactly.
So $47 million minus when you take 47 million and you take out $4.7 million, what's the difference? I don't want to be that subtractive, but it's in the 30 millions.
Yes.
There's no scenario So let's just be clear. There's no scenario in which you want to get paid gross profit. You want to get paid gross net profit instead of gross revenue, especially if you don't have any say so over the costs. The only reason he can charge for those costs is if he was an employee of Golden Boy. Otherwise, there's no reason to have those costs. Now, do you have anything else you'd like to say, North Star? Because you didn't understand that, and he did. You think that's hate?
You breaking down the contract is not hate. You know
that's not a contract. I'm breaking down the process.
Negotiation.
So that's not hate. Thank you. Now go away. Then go away. Then go away. Because I wasn't hating, and I never did hate. Only person hating here is you. Wasting, and you're hating on my time, wasting it. Okay? Because you're talking about stuff again you don't even understand. In order to have a conversation with you, Bozo, I literally have to teach you accounting and legal theory. I don't care about your opinion. If you don't know what gross revenue and net profit are and how they work together and how an advance works, and that you cannot sue for both battery and breach of contract at the same time, or any tort and breach of contract at the same time, usually, bro, you're not worth my time and you're wasting my time. What's going on, 2 Cent? And I see you, Camo.
What up, Fanon? What up, Kamal? What's going on? What up, chat? I just want to hop up here real quick and give my 2 cents and maybe ask you a question or two. But first, I wanted to say, I did a video on my channel leading up to the fight where I said Oscar De La Hoya is hustling the fans. And that was referring to the location of the fight, how they had it in New York when Ryan and Devin, both from, are recognized in California. The prices of the ticket, like the prices of those tickets at the beginning was extremely ridiculous. And I was wondering who they think gonna pay these prices to see Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And now in hindsight, looking back, I'm like, well, he wasn't necessarily hustling the fans. He was hustling Bill and Devin, because if you want to get paid out of net profit, just like you expressed, that's your revenue minus your expenses, correct? And you go to New York where the taxes are high. You're charging these crazy amounts for these tickets where you're not going to draw in a lot of people. And I'm just wondering, Fanon, like, do you think that they could have planned that out? Like something that they literally did on purpose? And also, I know a lot of people feel like, well, if this lawsuit is this, open and shut, why would the lawyers even take the lawsuit? And he got $1 million lawyers and all of this for this case. And I'm just thinking, does he have? Yeah, I was going to say, does he have $1 million lawyers for this case? Because why didn't he get lawyers to simply just read over the contract and explain it to him? So,
okay.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering,
give me those. Okay, so the first one was,
do you think that Oscar?
Oh, the planning it out? Okay,
Yeah.
so the way that I'll answer that question. I know what I don't know. I know what I don't know and what I do know. Okay?
Right.
So I know that if, rest in peace to one of my best friends, the great, love you so much, brother, miss you so much, Devin Leftwich. Shout out to my guy, DJ OC, in the place to be in the parlor of Sweden. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay, so Devin was pretty much as close to a mathematical genius as I've ever met. Like concert pianist, like always straight A's all the way through school. And he's a finance and a math guy. I know that if I asked him that question and had him, rest in peace, put a profit and loss statement together and a strategy together, then it could be a scenario where you could make more money by losing money. When you have a guy that's that good with finance. I mean, there are really people with finance that are really, really gifted people with finance. Purchasing vehicles and different mechanisms. Like, I understand basic. This is stuff we're talking about is basic. The models that guys like Richard Schaefer build, the financial models that these guys build, the financial models that Al Heyman can build, They very well could find a way to wring water out of a rock. But so yeah, it's very like where they look like, okay, well, how much is this going to cost? What's our deal with our fighters? Oh, we got a net profit deal with him. If you get him on net profit, you are definitely incentivizing yourself to spend more money on your end. Otherwise, you got to pay it to him, or you got to pay it to taxes. So I wouldn't accuse them of that directly, but that's why I'm saying, you, as a boxer, you're better safe than sorry having somebody that really like a Devin, like not Devin Haney, but Devin, my friend Devin. And there's a bunch of people on this chat listening to it that could do the same calculation for you. Find somebody that's an MBA, somebody that's good, really good with finance, and say, hey, how could this take place? And they say, oh, we'll go da-da-da. This is what the pricing model should be. Oh, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to lose money. Oscar specifically is trying to lose money. They could say that. I don't know. They could be like, Oscar, because you remember, Oscar De La Hoya got so damn much money himself that, you know, he got to pay taxes on his capital gains. So this dude may be wanting his books on his business to always be at a slight loss so it won't affect him in his taxes. I'm call Al Heyman.
And you get to write that off.
I'm just telling you, I won't even go so deep as to answer that because I don't want to sound like North Star.
Right.
All I'm going to do is point you and say that that's a question. When you have a profit and loss statement, that's what you need to go through. There's when you sit down and you talk about what you're going to get paid, you don't talk about percentages until you know what the bucket is. So you're like, percentage of what? How much money do we think this fight's going to make? Let's sit down and, oh, we think the fight's going to make this. This is all the sources of revenue. If you do that, then you'll notice doing that, hold on, I'm getting paid out of what? I'm getting 47% of this gross. I'm not getting 47% of this number. I'm getting 47% of that number. Oh no.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying you can't, like, every time anybody says, oh, I'm asking you about legal advice, man, I will yell, no, I'm not giving you legal advice. Because first of all, you're in a state that I'm not in. That's not anything that I know intricately. All I can do is give you the advice. I can give you this opinion. Find somebody that knows these things. Because if you can find somebody that knows those things, then those people that know those things can get you to your answer. But if you have somebody around you telling you that they can do everything for you, then you probably have a guy that's lying to you too. So, like, if I had somebody that was working for me and they were doing my entire business and they said that they could write the contracts, that they could run the financials, that they could also do the matchmaking, and they could also do the training, and they could also do the promotion, I'd be like, dude, you're taking on too many jobs. You cannot possibly do all of those well. You can only really do one of them well. Training. If you do training well, most trainers really do training well. They're not going to redo contracts well. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's my take. And the other part was?
The second question was, I know a lot of people are feeling like, you know, well, if it's just that simple as he took net profit, like, if it's an open and shut case, then why did the lawyers even accept the case or file the case?
Because these people that say that don't understand what a lawyer's job is. A lawyer's job is not to tell you what your deal is. You have to tell the lawyer what your deal is and what you want. And your lawyer will say, okay, I will get this word tight, and this is what you want. This is exactly what you'll get. A lawyer is not a financial analyst. They're not going to be able to break down the exact pricing models and the things that you need to do. That's a finance person. So what you usually do is, and if you have a team, is number one, you have the subject matter experts talking to each other about whether or not they even really want to do anything. So what is that? A Devin and Ryan say, hey, we want to fight. Because what? That's what they do. They fight. Then the next guy says, okay, well, if they're going to fight, how are we going to promote this? Therefore, then the promoters get involved. And the promoters do the promotion. So as far as the lawyer is not going to tell you who you should fight. They're also not going to tell you where the venue should be. They're not going to tell you what the rules should be. They're just going to document it for you and make sure that you understand what you're agreeing to. Not that they're going to tell you what you should and shouldn't agree to. That's not their job. You have to know the subject matter of your work in order to get the benefit of the bargain for what you're doing. A lawyer is not going to be a carpenter. A lawyer can't tell you whether or not this particular job that they're asking you to do, whether or not this is going to work well for the pricing that you have in this contract. They're not going to know because they're not carpenters. They don't know what the cost of materials are. They don't know, the time it's going to take to build it, all of those project type of things. You're going to have to know that. So if Bill doesn't know the difference, the lawyer may say, hey, man, maybe he really just wants net profit. Maybe that's what the industry standard is. I don't know. And that's what the judge is going to do too. The judge is going to be like, how would I know that whether or not you should have been getting net profit or net, because it's on the paper.
And that was my next question is going to be as far as the quote unquote PED usage and the Ostarine. And let me say this real quick.
Let me tell you what the problem is with the PED and the Ostarine. The problem with the PBD is, I think the term is proximate cause. I think it is the proximate cause. If I'm using the wrong word, please excuse me. But when you claim a harm, and that harm cannot be directly tied to the action that you're claiming, there's a problem. If I punch you in the face and break your tooth, and it's not about, right? All you need to know is I punched you and broke your tooth, right? That's all you need to know. I wasn't supposed to punch you and your tooth came out. So I can give you damages. What are your damages? Well, I had to go to the dentist and I had to miss work. So, okay, well, if you missed work, I do believe that that is restitution. So you are correcting the wrong, right? If you spent some money on something that you weren't able to do because I punched you, then you can say, hey, I have what's called a reliance interest, right? I thought you were going to pay me $5 to come here, but you punched me in the face. I relied on your word. I'm suing you. But all kind of different theories for why somebody specifically should be giving you something. So the problem with Devin is with this Ostarine is, number one, how do you differentiate the punch that knocked out your tooth that your tooth wouldn't have come out without the Ostarine? Because teeth come out all the time when people didn't have Ostarine. Matter of fact, the worst thing that could happen in a boxing match is death, right? There's plenty been people that have been killed without Ostarine. So you actually got punished. You actually suffered less damage with Ostarine than many boxers experienced without Ostarine. So how can we know that your injury is just not the fact that you got hit with a punch? The judge won't know that. So even if they believe it played a role, they have to, okay, well, how much money do I give to you? Because you got to put a dollar value on that. And if it's like, okay, we think it's like 0.2%, then how much money can they give that to you for that? Nothing.
Yeah, I heard somebody say the lawsuit is worth 50 to 100 million, and I'm like, how?
It's not worth anything. He's not even claiming that. Let me tell you what he's actually asking for. They don't know what this is. The damages, he's not even really asking. I don't think the only thing that they asked for, literally asked for, was to freeze Eddie Hearn's money. Proximate cause, thank you, brother. The natural, thank you, brother. T. Orlando was right. He said proximate cause equals the natural and continuous sequence. Excuse me. Proximate cause equals the natural and continuous sequence, unbroken by other causes, produces an event, and without which the event would not have occurred. Right, proximate cause. So thank you, man. Thank you, T. Orlando. T. Orlando, me making sure I don't look stupid in front of these dudes. Exactly, it's proximate cause. The likelihood of him proving proximate cause from Ostarine to a concussion in boxing it's fucking nothing. Okay, it's just nothing. It's nothing because you knew you were going to get punched in the head, period. You knew you were going to get hit when you went in there. That's why you got paid. But so anyway, that's the answer with that. Anybody talking about that Ostarine and damages, Bro, it doesn't matter whether or not they thought it was effective or not, or whether it gave you this, whether it was fair or unfair. The court doesn't even care about that. They don't
Yeah,
care about
wouldn't the court just look at the documents and be like, okay, this is consistent with contamination, and then just move
So
on? Like
you
the
got
levels are consistent with
no,
contamination, and then just move on.
no, this is how it works. This is how it actually works. In civil case, you have preponderance of the evidence is the standard. Devin is accusing Ryan. Okay, just like if I accuse you of something, I have to put forward evidence to prove, to convince somebody that to a certain standard, an acceptable standard, that you're guilty. It's not on Ryan to prove anything because Devin is the one accusing him. So we have to get that first principle of jurisprudence together that people keep missing. If you accuse somebody of something, it's your job to prove it. If the state accuses you of murder, it's their job to prove it, not yours. You can put on a counter evidence that can blow smoke or holes in their argument, but it's ultimately their job. And their standard is called beyond a reasonable doubt, which means, I don't know, 95% or more chance. But in civil court, it's preponderance of the evidence, which means 50% or more. But Devin still has to prove that. So let's look at 50%. Is it 50% likely that the Ostarine caused that concussion? No. You're not going to get anywhere near 50% because it happens in every fight. There was a 100% chance that you were going to get hit without the Ostarine. So how can the Ostarine be 50% of your damage? It's never going to work, bro. Like, you can never get to that. So that's the damages portion of it.
So Ryan didn't get paid any money either because did they sign the same contract?
No, there's different bout agreements for different people.
Oh, okay,
Let
okay.
me tell you something. I don't know. Let me answer the question. Honestly, I don't know. There very well be a document where they both know exactly what they get, what each other get. However, and you'd have to ask somebody that wrote those agreements whether or not they actually get to see each other. But I think they both have to sign a copy of each other's deal. So yeah, they would all see what each other are getting paid. If Ryan's getting paid in net profit, then Ryan's getting fucked over too. That's all that.
And I was thinking about that, and I was like, Ryan did bet on himself though and make all that money.
They said they didn't want any minimum. First of all, why would you do that? All you're doing is burning something. That doesn't make any damn sense not to have any minimum. If they're going to exchange for a higher percentage of net profit, I almost don't want to go into this negotiation. It's two kids dealing with professionals. And that's what if my son negotiates a deal with me, I made sure I did that to my son as a kid. I would just fuck with him and make deals with him. I was like, okay, yeah, you want to cut a deal? I would cut a deal, let him cut a deal. And after he cut the deal, I would tell him exactly how I screwed him over. I'd be like, really? See what you agreed to? But what about that? And now it's very tough to get him to do anything if he's not all the way through it. It's a thought process that they didn't take. Now, if you happen to be out there on Mill City Boxing, sorry, catch a stray, Bill. I'm going to come holler at you. You're a former user. Dude, you can make a lot of fucking mistakes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I wonder if I know people are saying, oh, some people, this is great for boxing. These boxers need to be held accountable.
No, it's terrible for boxing.
But I don't know if they're taking into consideration the precedents that this will also set if they lose. If they lose. I can't hear you no more, Fanon. People,
Are you there?
there you go.
Fanon?
There you go. Oh no, that's Kamal. What's up, Kamal?
Hey, what's up, 2 Cents? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just trying to figure this out because this is sweeping the YouTube boxing streets right now.
Yeah, but a lot of it's misinformation. This suit is not good for the sport of boxing. This goes against everything that, as far as precedents,
There you
is
go,
concerned.
Fanon. I think you back.
Yeah.
Say something for now. We hear you.
Okay, y'all can hear me now?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think my wireless mic ran out of power. So what was the topic? Because I did have an answer. Oh, is it good for boxing?
Yeah, I would say
You
people
said if
saying
they
it's good for
lose,
boxing, but if they
if who
lose, it
loses?
also to set a precedence.
If they lose?
Yeah, if they lose.
Oh, let me tell you something. If you're talking about if Devin loses,
Correct.
oh, let me tell you something. Devin is going to lose because the precedent has already been set. But if they won, it would be terrible for boxing. You can't have boxing if they win. You can't have the sport. Really.
Well, people think
impossible.
it'll discourage people from cheating.
No, it'll discourage people from fighting at all. And it will encourage insurance companies to charge ridiculous amounts of money for fights. Because you're going to have malpractice insurance to fight.
Yeah, and event insurance is already high enough for real.
Yeah, you're going to have malpractice. You're going to have malpractice insurance for a trainer.
For one
You're going
fight
to
or period?
Listen to look what they're trying to do. You got to get to the legal theory. It's at the legal theory I'm talking about, not the facts, the legal theory. If you are able to claim battery in a boxing match because of a rule violation, you are not going to have NFL football. Because they batter people all the time. If you can revoke consent after I attack you with my helmet, that's a violation of a rule. And NFL players are on steroids and get caught all the time. So if somebody gets caught on steroids in football and that particular person had broken your leg 2 games before, that's assault and battery, according to Devin. Because you did not consent to be hit by somebody that was on steroids. You can't have football. You can't have any contact sport where that contact can automatically be turned to unwanted from wanted. Because remember, the switch is this: wanted contact and unwanted contact. If I can put my hands on your shoulder, 2 cent, you can't call that battery, right? Because you said, hey, I say, hey, can I put my hand on your shoulder? You say, yeah, you can. And I put my hand on your shoulder. I can't call battery, right?
Right.
But imagine that I say, can I put my hand on your shoulder? And you say, yeah, I can. And then an hour later, you realize that, hold on, he had a chocolate in his hand and he got some chocolate on my shirt. I didn't consent to that. That's battery. Because it's really because you're turning it from an unwanted touch, one you said was okay, to one that you didn't approve of. But you did it later on. That's what Devin's trying to do. Devin's trying to say, yes, I consented to the touching when we were fighting, but when I learned later something, I would not have. So he's trying to change his consent. He's trying to revoke his consent legally. That's very bad. That's the same thing as the Me Too movement and sexual assault. Remember, seriously, listen, it's assault, right? What is he accusing him of? Assault, right? That's what the charge is. Assault and battery. It's the same thing virtually. So he's saying that it was a boxing match, but because he did something that I didn't know, I can take that back. Now it's not a boxing match. Now it was an assault. That's the same thing people are trying to say that you can do with the Me Too movement. I agreed to have sex with Puffy because I knew it was good for my job, and I did consent at the time. But now I realize that it was really the pressure of the moment, his celebrity, the concerns I had about my career and what would happen to my career. If I had fully processed that at the time, if I had fully processed that at the time, I would not have had sex with him. So they're trying to revoke the consent later on down the road. That's the problem. That's why they're like, no, you can't do that. You actually have to call the police. You actually have to say something about it. Otherwise, you're saying you consented, but now later in retrospect, I want to take my consent back.
Well, I think that Devin and Bill should sue two more additional people. First, I think they should sue Victor Conti because he said he hired Victor to tell him when boxers were cycling on and cycling off. Victor failed to do that, so let's give
He
him
may have
fraud.
he may have sued. He may have sued Victor. No, I mean it. Really, he may have, and that all, and without knowing it, he may have sued Victor Conti because it says the parties include Scooter and John Doe's involved. Anybody that could have had connection with Scooter and the supplements that Scooter had. I don't know whether or not Scooter had any connection with Victor Conti. Victor Conti knew the people that made the product that Scooter gave to Ryan. What they did is really what he really did with that lawsuit is if Oscar De La Hoya and those guys really wanted to dig into what happened, gave them a license to start subpoenaing people and see, like if I was Ryan and I saw that, I was like, oh, John Doe's, no worries, subpoena Victor Conti.
Yep.
Because I want to know, I want to know how he knows about these tests related to those supplements. Because if those supplements were tainted, then that is part of the damage to Devin. So I need to be able to see all that information. If I was Ryan, I would run right up the backside of I'd run right up the backside of Victor Conti with this lawsuit. Yep. Because we're going to argue that he's a James Doe. And hey, T. Orlando, how do you attach people to lawsuits? How do you countersue and attach people to lawsuits? Like he opened a big ass can of worms, man, with that John Doe shit too.
And he should also sue Vada. He should also sue Vada because
Devin Haney, bro, Ryan can do that. Ryan can say, I'm suing Vada. Why? Because Vada told me I was clean all the way up until this battery.
And Vada also told Bill and Haney that, and they let the fight go on. Because it's pointless to test the day before, and the day of. That's pointless.
Now, and again, I'm telling you, they don't. That's why you're not supposed to sue. Because you don't know what you're going to open up. What if you find out something about the tests themselves? Because I'm telling you, I've already heard people said to me that they believed, based off some information in that lawsuit, that they knew about, that they had knowledge of Devin Haney's of Ryan Garcia being popping dirty. No joke. I had a discussion with several people, and when they were like, hold on, what? They looked at the same facts, and I can't tell you why they see this. I can't even tell you why they see it. But the same facts they looked at, and they were like, oh, dog, these dudes knew Ryan was going to pop dirty. They were like, oh, no, they knew that right. I'm telling you, I don't know what it was, because they were like, La, just trust me. With that, Ryan Garza knew, this is their opinion, that Devin and Bill knew Ryan was going to pop dirty at the time that they missed weight. I don't know why they would say that. I'm still struggling with it.
Well, that comes back down to the brother getting on Instagram saying Allah told him. So that
I'm telling. Look, all I'm saying is I don't know, but I'm telling you for sure. These one of the reasons that people settle lawsuits is because they don't want all this dirt to come out.
Right.
When you slap a John Doe on that, that's him and everybody. He's Scooter and John Doe. Scooter connects the entire case to the entire supplements industry. Yeah. And if I'm Ryan and I want to prove something, dude, I'm going through all those dudes.
And I want to say too, just because somebody gives you something in a container, that doesn't mean that whatever's in the container originally came in the container. So, I mean,
yeah, and he took capsules. He never saw the container.
That's even worse.
Yeah, Ryan never saw the container. That's the crazy thing. That Ryan is saying, hey, man, these supplements that I got from him are what did it. But if you realize, you remember, Ryan never saw the actual boxes. Ryan said he was given pills. while Scooter said he was given capsules. So whatever he was given, Ryan didn't actually see. And Scooter gave it to him with not having seen any of the actual cartons. That's why when Scooter sent it to him, you also have to think, did Scooter really send it to him? Like, you have to trust that Scooter is actually giving you the same stuff that he actually gave Ryan that day. See, I'm telling you, this is wide open because you say, okay, let's look at the chain of custody. Let's look at the chain of custody from Scooter. Scooter says that I never saw that. He gave it to me in capsules. I called it pills. He said capsules. So I don't know whether or not, I just asked him what he gave me, and then he sent that to them. How do I know he didn't just send him a clean one?
Exactly. Or something completely different.
Or something completely different. So now you got to investigate Scooter and anybody Scooter does business with. I'm telling you, this is reckless from them. It's reckless because they're a bull in a china shop. Because we don't know this Scooter, that the action, because see, people want to immediately say, okay, well, Ryan had all his supplements tested, so we know all the supplements are clean. Well, how do we know what supplements he took? Well, Scooter's the one that sent him in. Ryan didn't send him in. Scooter sent him in. But Scooter also says that Scooter didn't show Ryan what he gave him. Ryan has to take Scooter's word that that's what he actually gave him, and we got to take Scooter's word that those things are actually what they sent in. They wound up testing clean or testing dirty. I'm telling you, the whole thing is ugly. That's why you don't sue. You get the shit and you get the shit back in blood, because otherwise you're going to catch, a lot of people are going to catch strays. Scooter's catching a stray, Vada's catching a stray, Oscar's catching strays, Bill is catching huge strays. Net profit, that's incompetence, in my opinion.
And I'm wondering, because was that the George? I think I heard of another fight. Was that with Devin where they were saying, oh, they agreed to be paid off the pay-per-view and the pay-per-views didn't do well?
I think this one.
I thought it was one before that, because I want to say this might have happened to them before, but I can't. I'm going to have to look it up because I'm not quite sure.
They might have. They might have done it. But look, man, if you're not, well, they can do whatever they want to do. The way you want to roll the dice, and if you gambling over time, you lose.
Yeah.
Betting on yourself over time, betting on anything over time, you're gonna lose.
And what do you think?
Betting, man. Make a smart move where you make money. That's why I don't like necessarily Terrence, like how he pulled out of the fight on Arrow. But one thing that is very, very solid about Terrence Crawford and Terrence Crawford's negotiations, this would not happen to him more than likely.
No, hell no.
More than likely, that would not happen to him. Because he's like, where's my money? My money's in the bank. This is the exact opposite of my money's in the bank.
Right. And I think Oscar was pumping their head up, talking about how it was going to do great numbers and all of this stuff. But this is my last question now. I know I like to do like a lot of speculating.
You can all day. That's okay. I'm good.
So do you think Eddie Hearn is, for lack of a better word, in on this? And the reason why I say that is because he didn't bid on the fight. He came out and said Devin Haney wanted $4 million for the Paro fight. And then he backdoored and said, Devin Haney's stock has went down. He needs to take a couple of fights where he's gonna get paid about $1 million. And I think I heard him say that maybe on 2 different occasions. So to me, it looked like Eddie Hearn, because I heard Eddie Hearn was suing Oscar also. But to me, it looks like Eddie Hearn is kind of cooperating. It's kind of be like, yeah, I'm the one that pays Devin. His value did go down. You get what I'm trying to say? Kind of like that point. So I'm just wondering, like, are Devin and Bill cool? Like, are they cool in cahoots or are they not? Like, I'm kind of confused.
Devin and Bill or Devin and Eddie?
Either or. I mean, just the whole.
Okay,
team.
This is my take from the outside looking in. If I'm in Eddie Hearn's position, I'm looking with Eddie. First of all, what did Eddie Hearn actually do? When Eddie Hearn got $300,000 in cash 30 days after the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight as a result of Devin missing weight. So what Devin got when Ryan missed weight, Devin got an extra $600,000 in an advance and an extra 2 points of nothing called net profit, which is almost nothing. Really, the way I'm looking at it, it's like I don't think he got any.
He gave him 2 points of the
So
net profit.
He gave him 2 points of nothing. Really gave him 2 points of nothing. He gave him 2 points of nothing. Net profit is nothing, bro. You're never, if you have net profit less, you're doing something wrong. You're supposed to lose. You're not supposed to have all that profit left. Otherwise, you're gonna get taxed on it. But whatever. He so he got 2% of nothing, and he got an 600,000 additional advance on that nothing. And so what did Eddie get for it? Number one, I don't even know why Eddie got it. If Devin doesn't really have a promotional deal with him, but whatever.
Didn't they say it was step aside money allegedly?
No, there was step aside money that. Oh, hold on. Oh, no. Devin himself had to pay step aside money to Sandor Martin. That's $300,000 that Devin had to pay. Eddie didn't pay the step aside money. Devin paid the step aside money. Because Eddie is not going to pay step aside money for Devin to go fight with another promotional company. So Devin paid that step aside money. No, the $300,000 came from money being sent to Matchroom from DAZN in exchange for allowing the fight to continue between Devin and Ryan after Ryan missed weight. He got $300,000 for that. And guess who he got it from? He didn't get it from Golden Boy. He got it straight from DAZN because the contract said that Golden Boy will cause Eddie Hearn to be paid by DAZN $300,000, which means Eddie ain't even trusting Oscar to give him the money. He's getting it straight from the guy that cuts the check. Meanwhile, Eddie let Devin get, again, 2%, an extra 2 points on nothing, and a $600,000 additional advance on nothing. So it was apparent right there that Eddie is one of two things. Either Devin don't want to listen to nobody, Eddie told him, and he don't want to listen. And he wanted to say, Devin, this is not a smart move. This is a bad deal. No, Eddie, this is what I want. I decided I want to do this. Okay, you want to do it? Okay, cool. Pay me whatever money you owe me. And then when the fight went through and stuff went sideways, he missed weight. They had to cut a deal with Eddie because Eddie is obviously, if Eddie has to, if they have to, some type of agreement to let Eddie allow him to fight, once the value of the fight goes up, then you have to give Eddie something for Eddie to continue to allow his permission.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes
right?
sense.
Because Eddie let him go. And now if the shit changes, the contract changes, then you got to pay Eddie. Because the reason that Eddie let him fight changed. So now Eddie got to pay him that. So I just think that, dude, Bill don't listen. Like, Bill listens to me. And Bill, the only thing I ever heard Bill really repeat was widgets. But didn't really even understand the concept of widgets and how it applies to not just the particular product, but just any process. I'm telling you, man, people that think they from the streets, or at least Bill, doesn't have respect for people where they are all the time, that they're doing something other than being in the streets. Education is real. But, you know.
They probably lost more money.
They want to lose money.
Doing it this way, trying to do it on your own. Like, I don't understand why you don't have a lawyer read over a contract when millions of dollars are involved.
You could have the lawyer read over the contract. They're not going to be able to catch that.
Oh, you're saying they wouldn't know either?
No.
An entertainment lawyer, right? You need an entertainment lawyer.
No, they still may not know. First of all, there's no such thing as a entertainment lawyer, really. That's just a phrase for their lawyers that work with contracts and deals within the entertainment industry. Almost all of them have other jobs and do other type of work. Same like every promoter also has another job. Like I'm sure, like Eddie Hearn, they also have a snooker business.
Right.
Al Heyman has a music business. Like, his boxing is like everybody kind of dips in it and
like
dips
a hobby.
Out. Yeah, well, I mean, it has low barriers to entry. and you're able, and if you have cash, you can do a lot of things with cash, no matter where that cash comes from. And it's also an excellent way to launder money. I mean, it is.
Yeah. I just think that,
Big time cash.
I think that being your own boss, your quote unquote own boss in boxing is not the flex that a lot of people think it is. I think it depends on, who you are, your status, what type of money you can bring in. I think all those things got to be taken into consideration when you quote unquote being your own boss, because I don't know if the jumping around the promotional company to promotional company make them feel some type of way, or like, is that seen as a positive or a negative?
It's
Like,
dumb. It's terrible.
it's
They
terrible.
don't know business. It's terrible. That's
Is
terrible.
is it like frowned upon?
Well, look, it's not that it's frowned upon. It's just strategically a bad move. It's like you got 3 girls. Like what? Like what's gonna happen? Watch this. I'm a decent looking dude, 22 years old, and there's 3 girls, right? They all want to get married. And I'm sleep with one, I sleep with the other, I sleep with all the other. Over time, and they all want to get married, and they all want to marry me. But I don't want to marry them. I want to just sleep with this one, sleep with this one. You know what's going to happen over the course of 10 years? They're all going to find different husbands. That's what's going to happen. So they wanted Devin, they wanted Devin. Oh, Devin. Oh, don't worry. Fuck Devin. I got Richard Hitchens. Oh, fuck Devin. I got, he's too hard to deal with. I'll take Jerron Ennis. That's what's going to happen to him, because you're not loyal to them. They're trying to, there is actually a paper written by the University of Chicago called The Economics of Boxing, and it breaks down what the interest is of a promoter. The promoter, for their business, they're trying to really get out of a fighter. They're trying to get 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20 fights out you. They're not trying, their goal with you is not to make money on one individual fight. They're investing in you for the long haul. If you're a really good fighter, where you're going to make money, but they're going to make money with you over time, because they make money in big fights and small fights. If you're not somebody that you is going to be there for you, then why would they focus any of the developmental money on you? It's a waste of money. If I try to build, like, say what Eddie thought was this. All right, yeah, he's doing this free agent thing, but he ain't really serious with that. He'll realize pretty soon. So I'll do a co-promotional deal with him, but whatever. He'll resign because he'll understand. But then he doesn't resign. He goes to somebody else. And then he does the same thing to that guy, and that guy and then he leaves and goes to somebody else. Before you get to guy number 4, the rumor's already out on you, man. Don't deal business with him, man, because what he's going to do is he's going to work with you for a year and he's going to quit. You'd be better hiring this guy, because this guy's going to be there for 10 years. You can rely on him for a period of time. See, Devin wants a promoter to lose without actually losing. See, usually if you were with a promoter and the promoter is promoting you and you're winning, so is the promoter, because they get your next fight. But with Devin can win, but the promoter can actually have his fighter win the fight, but he can still lose because Devin will go sign with with somebody else. And that's what happened to Eddie with Regis Prograis. Eddie lost Devin to Bob Arum, and then he got him back. So he had a fighter that didn't have as much promise in Regis. So he gives Devin to Regis. And he wins the belt. And what does Devin do? He leaves him. So basically, Eddie lost. He lost when Regis Prograis lost. When he really won, when Devin won.
Yeah, that's true.
Bad. People are not fucking with that over time. Would you?
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this whole I'm my own boss, because you're with a promotional company, like, depending on your perception and how you treating it, it should be a partnership. But just like when I was watching that Andre Ward interview with Eddie Hearn, and he like, if you lose, you lose. It ain't got nothing to do with me. And I just thought that was the most ridiculous thing that he could have said.
Eddie said that?
No, Andre Ward. He was like, if the promotional company lose money, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's on them. And I just thought that that was the most ridiculous thing you can say about the people paying you. And like it's that like that Terrence Crawford mentality. Like for some reason, it seems like they have that mentality, and I don't understand that. But I mean,
Well,
it is
because
what it is.
well, let me tell you, that is somebody that really has been told, and they really don't trust people. But the thing is that they understand it within the boxing match. They understand. Andre Ward understands it because he understands that the other boxer is also earning money and that they both can't get paid without each other. I don't think Andre Ward, and not necessarily singling this on Andre Ward, because I do think Andre Ward has a very good business mind. I think he's a smart guy. I think that athletes do not really appreciate the financial risks that the promoters and the managers are also taking. And that is because for so long that the people, the managers and promoters were exploitative.
Right.
Right. But they were exploitative. And so you peel it back, right? You peel it back from the exploitation, but you can't then move it from exploitation of the boxer to exploitation of the promoter.
Right.
Right. So when you do things like you sign a deal, like Eddie Hearn is going to feel exploited. If he's the one that gave you all these fights and he decided that he was going to front you for money that was not where he was not earning any money, but he was building you. But as soon as you had an opportunity to go to somebody else, you immediately take it. And then he says, well, okay, I understand it once because of the money. Okay. But then he gives it to you again, and then you do it again. He's going to feel like, okay, first time it happened, shame on you. Next time, shame on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making the mistake. I'm blaming myself, and my mistake is doing business with you. The first time you did it, I was like, okay, that's a mistake he made. I can overlook that. The second time I did business with you and you did it, that's not your mistake. That's my mistake. And I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm not doing business with you again. And that's what's going to happen because people are dealing with their money. And I do think that boxers who have been exploited, like Andre Ward really thinks that people don't understand what happened with Goosen, not Dan Goosen, with Dan Goosen, James Prince, and that promotional deal.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, people understand what happened there. People understand what happened there, man. They may not know all of the particulars of it, but we know it was control of the promotional dollars that were supposed to go from Roy Jones, who was not really an established promoter like that. You went with Dan Goosen, but when Roy Jones pulled out, Dan Goosen was supposed to pull out too. And Dan Goosen was supposed to let the next promoter, the Houston promoter, take over. But Dan Goosen wanted to cut him out and wanted to cut, and I know Maya wanted to cut out James Prince. So the lawsuit in your arbitration clause that you had in your contract, Andre, calls for the mediation to take place in California. So it was in California where Dan Goosen is very powerful. But then your manager managed to get it transferred to a federal court in Houston, in Texas, where your manager was powerful. And then once that situation changed, Dan Goosen dropped out because he knew he wasn't going to win a case in Houston in a court. You got screwed because of the clause in your contract that said that the jurisdiction or any conflicts would be handled by the New York State Athletic Commission, by the California State Athletic Commission. I could have easily told you to take that out of your contract because I know that's what that is. If another way to screw a boxer is that I prevent you from going to court, I put you in a mediator.
Right.
And when I put you in a mediator and an arbitrator, I can also name the rules. So then you agreed to arbitration and mediation, and you're stuck. Unless you can find a way to get it to do what? Claim diversity of citizenship or something to get it into a federal court so that they can answer the question. Bro, lawyers really know the law.
So
I
I
hate to
mean,
break it to you. Like shit, for real.
I mean, I guess
I'm
if,
more,
since Andre, it makes a little more sense for him to feel that way, since he had his own, situation. But I think to try to get the
But no, Andre Ward doesn't understand that situation because Andre Ward is loyal to the death.
yeah,
Andre Ward is loyal to the death, bro. Andre Ward was loyal to James Prince, even though he knew that he didn't really get a very good deal from James Prince when he originally signed to James Prince. But he was still loyal to James Prince. And he still
right,
sent fighters to James Prince. Even though he had a bad deal with James Prince originally. So, I mean, I got a lot of respect for Andre Ward. I do. I just think boxers, sometimes when you guys, they're like, I'm telling you, man, there's no such thing as, okay, let me say this very carefully. There's no such thing as the business of boxing, really. There's no, if that's not real. There's no business of boxing. There's only business. And boxing is the subject matter. That's where you miss it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like everything is fighting, but boxing is not fighting. Everything is fight, but this is all fighting though. Anyway.
Right. Okay,
so
last
man,
question,
yeah.
and I'm gonna pass the mic. But what do you think about Oscar De La Hoya's Clapback Thursday and the matchroom curse that he spoke about in his last clapback?
Man, I think that Eddie Hearn is killing him.
It seems to be some truth to that, right?
Well, no, I think no. You're talking about to the losses for Matchroom?
To the matchroom curse.
No,
Yeah.
well, let me tell you.
Because I've always said Eddie Hearn gets his fighters beat. I've always felt like that.
Like, okay, in the Clapback Thursday, this is what I thought about that Clapback Thursday. I thought, first of all, Eddie is killing Oscar. He's killing him. Because Eddie is saying, he's saying, okay, all your fighters lost, this fighter lost, this fighter lost, this fighter lost. But man, he literally named more fighters that lost than Oscar De La Hoya got signed. So
that's true.
like you can point out your 14 losses, but are you going to talk about the other 80 fighters he has? Because you got about 3, homie. See what I'm saying? So
yeah,
like,
that's true.
it's like, Eddie and Oscar. Dude, Oscar's a bigger promoter in the United States than Eddie is. Eddie's a bigger promoter as Oscar is in the United States. And that's a fucking shame. Because Oscar has Virgil Ortiz. He has
William
Ryan
Zepeda.
Garcia. Who's that? Zepeda, Raymond Moratala, Floyd Schofield. And he's a second-tier promoter on the network that Eddie Hearn basically runs.
Yeah.
So Eddie is kind of Golden Boy's daddy right about now. And in fact, Golden Boy wouldn't even have anywhere to put a fight if it wasn't for Eddie. Where would they be? They'd have, because ESPN kicked him out. They went to Top Rank. And then what's he gonna have to do? He'd have to go do business with Al. Eddie, I mean, Oscar is just rich, bro. That company would not be operational if it had to really generate a lot of money. That shit right there is one. I'm telling you, that shit is running on, not on fumes, but it's like they probably have like all of these dudes have a few employees, right? Have a few employees, but he's not trying to play out huge advances and really settle himself or commit himself to having a big stable of fighters. Right. That's why that's why Al Heyman was easily able to move all those fighters away from him.
Right.
Because he wasn't trying to like give them a bunch of guarantees and really sign them and spend the money necessary to keep all those guys. Right. So they had a solution, because it's a sophisticated solution too. Have them all just have managerial contracts and advisory contracts, because these guys are all signed to Al, and so therefore no contract with Oscar means Oscar doesn't have those minimums. So I'm telling you, it's all business, but it's business. It's not the business of boxing. It's business. That's why everybody that is really running boxing started somewhere else. Bob Arum is not a boxer. Bob Arum had never even watched a boxing match before he got involved in promotion. Eddie Hearn is not a boxer. The biggest name, Don King, was not a boxer. Like, why you think that is? Eddie Schaefer's not a boxer. These guys all had their own businesses outside of boxing. Even the like rappers that come into boxing with money have businesses outside of boxing. Al Heyman didn't come from boxing.
Right.
Boxing is low barrier of entry, so anybody can jump in if they got money. It's the Wild West because the laws change in every state and in every country.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man. But people have to understand that business is business means that literally the same things that apply to one business all apply to all businesses. So your challenge in being a businessman is not to learn boxing. It's to learn business, which is what? It is essentially contracts and the contract and the services, products or services that you agree to provide. And the money that goes along with that. You have to understand all of that. And the thing that Bill didn't understand when I said widgets, I meant that literally boxing is a widget. It doesn't matter to me when I'm looking at business if you're talking about boxing or whether you're talking about I don't know, a military contract. The same basic fundamentals of business apply to both. And if you don't have the basic business fundamentals, you'll not be able to handle either. Now, there may be some complications and things within the more complicated business arrangements that you need further education on beyond the basics, but you're screwed if you don't know the basics. And the basics is not boxing. The basics is business. And a boxer should never get into a business fight with a businessman any quicker than a businessman should get in a boxing match and box a boxer. You're going to get killed. And it doesn't even matter. A regular dude could fight a 70-year-old boxer and still get mopped. A boxer that doesn't know his business can get mopped by a rudimentary business person.
Yep.
So yeah, I keep trying to get people to get across it, but people keep saying the business of boxing, man, there ain't no business of boxing, man. There's just business. Just business. Just like, the business of basketball and the business of boxing are both businesses and they're both sport. Yet they're both sports. Object-oriented thinking would help a lot of people.
Yeah, learning some business principles also.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, all right,
that helpful?
Yeah, that was a good little chat. Just some things that have been on my mind, and I'm just.
Yeah, I appreciate the conversation, but on the real, the best thing that Devin could have done, in my opinion, doing a postmortem of the situation, really, is that you got to separate your tasks. You have a lot of people working for you, Devin, in your business. Okay, you have a lot of tasks in your business. They have to be separated into people.
Yeah, he don't have a team. I keep hearing people say you're just as good as your team.
No, listen to what I mean
is
by
not
this.
a team.
Yeah, look. Your dad wants to, but your dad can't. Your dad cannot be your trainer and be a financial analyst at the same time. He can't do it. He may want to do it. He may be able to do a little of both, but he only has 24 hours in a day, and he only has so much capacity. In order for your father to perform the absolute best that he can, he has to be in the role that he's best at, and he has to be there exclusively. If he is going to be the mouthpiece and the salesman and all that, that's what he needs to do. And but this person that is over there that is going to look and negotiate your that's what they need to do, and that's the only thing that they need to do. They need to wake up and go to sleep thinking about a fair deal for Devin. What is the best deal I can get for Devin? And you can't do that in between the time that you're on Mill City Boxing and the time that you're getting your you're on the phone with your sparring partner to show up for the mat, to show up to the gym, while you're filling water bottles after that. It just doesn't work in your day. And if you understand how businesses work, you have to understand that delegation is the main characteristic of a good boss. Is delegation. Is knowing the tasks that need to be done and then assigning them to the proper person to do them. and to ensure that they get that done in a manner that reaches your goal. That's what a boss does. If you just give it to one guy and then that one guy takes care of everything else, then that guy's the boss. And if that guy's the boss is the one talking to every person individually, you don't have enough people working for you.
Yep. Delegate. But all right, for now, I'm about to hop back in the chat. Don't forget to hit me up so we could do this Sunday.
Let's do. Yeah, all right. Is there a fight?
Aren't they doing is there a re-art card this weekend?
No. But yeah, Sunday morning. Yeah, you want to co-host on Sunday morning?
Yeah, we could do Sunday.
All right, I'll send you an email and I'll send you the link, and then we can link your channel.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
But I have to give you my phone number. We'll do a little test run in the morning and make sure we agree to a time on Sunday, because sometimes I move around on Sunday. So we just need to make sure we know. Yeah, we can do that.
All right, just hit me up in the email.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Please. If you don't hear from me, hit me.
Okay,
cool.
All right.
Yeah, because I got so many people. I want to make sure. I will try to get back to you for sure, but if I mess up, I don't want it to go sideways. Come on, what up, man? Is that it? You good, man? You listened well, man. Sorry about that. What up, Joey? I'm sorry. Joey, I thought I scared you off, Joey. I'm so happy to see you today.
Isn't Baturbiev and Beeville this weekend?
No, that's the 12th.
Okay, I knew it was either this weekend or next.
Yes, sir. It's the 12th. Oh, I did miss super chats. Brian Lane said, "Oh, is never bringing his bozo ass back. He about to unsubscribe. Please, dude ain't subscribed. Anyway, this dude's be wild." Eddie said they both fight for no minimums, but I guess that doesn't necessarily mean that Ryan is getting paid out of net profits. If he is getting paid out of net profit, he's getting screwed, because that's not your problem. I don't understand the most simple way to understand why you should not be responsible for somebody else's bills. If you're getting paid net profit, you're being held responsible for their bills, because the expenses are bills. Why should you have to pay your partner's bills for them? You shouldn't. Unless you have ownership. If you have ownership in Golden Boy, you can get paid out of net profit. Getting paid out of net profit is for owners. And you know why owners get paid in net profits? Owners can get paid net profit because they can absorb a lot of their personal costs and expenses, and it decreases their taxable income when they take that little bit. Also, because they own the company, they are naturally reinvesting that money back in there when they have net profit, because they're reinvesting all that money back into the company by calling it an expense. You got paid like a boss, all right. Only problem is you're not a boss, so you didn't want to get paid like a boss. You want to get paid like an employee. Give me my money for my work. Your bills aren't my problem. But everybody want to listen to rap music. Go listen to Eddie. Hey, if you want to go to business school and Nipsey Hussle rap songs, yeah, be a boss. Got to pay the cost to be the boss. What's the cost to be the boss? Net profit. You don't want to get paid for like a boss if you're not an owner. If I owned Matchroom, no worry, pay me off net profit, because the value of Matchroom is going to go up, which means my value goes up because the value of Matchroom goes up, or Golden Boy goes up. There's something in it for me for that company to do well. That's why they would get paid in net profit. You, though, no. Give me my revenue. Well, I can't give you 47% of revenue. No worries. How much do you think you were going to pay me out of net profit? Give me the calculation for how much money you were going to pay me out of net profit. Do you think? Where's the profit and loss statement? How much do you think run the calculation on my net profit? Oh, you're not going to get paid anything. That's what we project. Well, I don't want that then. Give me a projection where we can use revenue where you still think that you'd be okay, and I'm okay with what I'm getting paid. But see, that's negotiation that you guys don't, Uncle Toms do that. Bootlicking coons that hate their own people do that. Tell Devin things like this. Let me ask you, what value did you guys bring Devin exactly? What advice did you give to Devin exactly that could save him millions of dollars that he definitely did not know? Come on, what's up, man? I'm gonna end on that because I am cooking fools.
You are, man. Great show. Thanks for the time. Once again, man.
I apologize that I didn't give you more air.
No, I was purposely listening. I don't want you to think that I could have chimed in, but yeah, I mean, what's done in the dark comes to light. The Haney's lies, their clout chasing, their deception has been exposed for the world to see. And this lawsuit just makes them look even worse. And don't believe me, but listen to boxers who are talking about it. Listen to people like Tim Bradley, who always sunshine pumps the Haneys, and even he's criticizing them. So, I mean, this is where we are. Devin, make no mistake about it. He thought going into this fight, he was going to cherry pick Ryan Garcia, get a big payday. He lied about how much he was getting paid when he said, if you think 35 million, you think north. I'm making more than 35 million. He lied about the tickets sold being 10,000 on the first day. He lied about the amount of compensation he got from Ryan being overweight. It was just nothing but a series of lies. And if they were this concerned about Ryan's rhetoric and about Ryan damaging the fight and hurting ticket sales, they would have fought Barbosa, who was on the undercard and who was the backup to fight him. The fact that they didn't say, Ryan, we've had enough of your antics. We've seen enough of you, flirting with these, the Lonely Fans girl, talking to porn stars, banging porn stars, acting real weird, leads me to believe, and their public actions, they still thought that they could beat Ryan Garcia. And only when they lost the fight, they're trying to have their cake and eat it too, Fanon. So it just goes to show you, when you said you can't, in a slap boxing match, this was a perfect analogy, you can't file for assault and then expect to get paid at the same time. So only when the Haneys lost did all of their bravado come off, and now they're trying to do a 180, which you cannot do. When you said, despite all of this that Ryan was doing, you were still going to emerge victorious and beat this quote-unquote average fighter, and now when that was proven false and you were allergic to that left hook, now you're wanting to file a lawsuit. Now you're wanting to say he cheated, but you had an opportunity to get out of that fight and out of that cherry pick of a fight that was gone wrong earlier, and you didn't take it. And so you paid this guy, Sandor Martin, step aside money. You ducked him. You go on Twitter talking about a bunch of people. But guess what? Africa, who you've talked about in the past, Bill and Devin, he's facing Liam Paro. He's not ducking. He's not running. Gary Antoine Russell lost a close competitive fight to Puello. What did Gary Antoine Russell say? I want my get back. So he's in line to fight for the WBC title. What's Sandor Martin doing? He's going to fight Puello coming up. So all the smoke and mirrors, the hoaxes, the gaslighting, the nonstop lies, the agendas from the Devin Haney and Bill Haney echo chamber, listening to that carnival barker, that snake oil salesman, they've all been exposed. Okay. And hate is not telling the truth. Hate is not being objective. Thank you for the time, Fanon. With that, I'm out.
Sir. Okay, so I get the conspiracy theory now. I'll call it a conspiracy theory so y'all know I'm not saying this. I see you, North Star. I don't have a lot of time, bro, so you got to act like, like you really got some value, okay? Basically saying, okay, so what they were saying is, I get it now. I get what might have lit them off. Because basically they're saying, oh, hold on, man. No. Devin was getting ripped off and wasn't making no money in this fight. So what they did is they tainted that shit on Ryan. Because they knew Devin was going to lose that fight. And that he wasn't going to make any money in that fight because of the ticket sales. That's what they're saying. That's the conclusion. I get it. Then I'm not saying, because for real, I don't like conspiracy theories, but that's what it is. That's what people are saying. People are saying that, and I don't know this to be true. I'm not even saying it is true. I don't even think it is true. But what they're saying is that basically because this deal was so bad, and Devin and those guys realized they weren't going to make any money because the ticket sales were bad and the pay-per-view sales weren't looking good, that they found out a way to stick Ryan, and then draw the whole event into a problem. So they would have to run it back or something like that. And put him in a bad position. I think that's what they're saying. But that seems to me to be a bit of a stretch. A lot of a stretch, actually. Hey, and Quiet as Kept, that's what it is. Phenomenal show said Quiet as Kept, but quite a few people connected to that situation said there was foul play. Yeah, man, I'm telling you right now, man, that connection, because we don't know if that yeah, Ryan Garcia may not have, if he wasn't the one that literally sent in the supplements, and those supplements were in capsules, if these things are true, then Ryan would not have been able to verify that what was sent in and tested is actually what he was given. Which means Scooter and everybody around them are open for a lawsuit from Ryan. Including and Golden Boy too, if Golden Boy had anything to do with sending Scooter over there. So it's crazy stuff. That's why you're not supposed to sue. How can I help you?
You missed it a little bit on the conspiracy.
Bro, I didn't miss
and
shit.
what they're
You
thinking.
didn't. First of all, I didn't miss shit on the conspiracy because you don't know who told me it. So how about you stick to shit you know and don't waste my time?
Well, this is what's going on in these boxing streets. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
you're
For
not in the
voices
boxing
that
streets.
don't,
This is my
the voices
YouTube
that
channel, bro. It's my YouTube channel, bro. It's not the boxing streets. I already told you I don't like you, bro. You constantly full of shit, wasting my time. You sat up here and talked about net revenue and don't know what it means. So you telling me what's going on in the boxing streets ain't really impressing me, bro. I'm in the boxing streets. I know more professional fighters than you do, I guarantee. And trainers.
Okay, well, I didn't come up to talk the net profit and all that. That's what I came to talk about was basically the content you've been making for the last few weeks.
I need for you to bring me something of value. I don't need you to critique me and try to talk to me about a video I made 3 weeks ago. What point do you have that brings value to this conversation? Please try to be brief.
The point that I have is this is all about boxing does not like the one and done fighters. Terrence Crawford and Devin Haney are two of those fighters that are big names in boxing right now. That's where I'm coming from with the
They
Haney
don't
thing.
like one and done fighters? What does that mean?
That means just how you said they want to invest in the fighter for a good at least like 5-6 fights. You had said in the long haul,
Okay, so let
like
me get this
15,
right.
16
So you're
fights.
just you jumped up here to agree with me that promoters want to have fighters on their roster and want to get a series of fight out of them, not just one. So you came up here to agree with me? Thank you. Now, I need for you to give me something that I didn't already say and a point you have. You don't have it. That's what I thought. There's only certain people that I allow to come up here and just repeat something I already said. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'm not in the mood for that North Star after 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours. Okay? I just said that, man. Anyway, much love to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all so much for the super chat. I think I got all the super chats. I got to tell you, I hope that you guys got value out of this today. Mr. Mileage said, what happened to my wrench? I don't know, Mr. Mileage. Oh, Andre Noble. Thank you, brother. Said, for the knowledge. Thank you, brother. And Mr. Mileage said, what happened to my wrench? I don't know, but I'll give you another one soon, man. I'll give it to you next time I see you, if that's cool with you. But much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat, everybody in the Cash App. Thank you to everybody who was chopping it up with me, even you, North Star. I did enjoy the conversation, man, but you got to up your game a little bit, okay? I'm messing with you, North Star, so that you can be a better communicator when you're talking to grown folk. They got shit to do. King tried to steal my little laugh, man. Curly J. Hey, salute best channel in the land. Thank you, man. Thank you, Curly J. Appreciate you. With that, I'm out. Deuces.